All right, straight into the summary of the last session. Where last we left off, our heroes had spent some time rather gruesomely investigating the nature of the strange being they had been killed, with Delgrim identifying that it appeared to be some kind of dark fae. Unsure of what that could mean, especially in relationship to the Accords, the party continued on their way. For the next 5 days, they travelled down the Twilight Road towards Wyldeport. Delgrim, Grumpfel, and Tiernan all took their time trying to help Tatiana, the elf whose mind appeared to be broken from the experience with the Dullahan, finally getting a breakthrough as Delgrim and Grumpfel used their magic to seemingly return her to some semblance of sanity. In the meantime, Miera, using her sending spell, peppered Saracen with updates and questions, as well as reaching out to Aloysius to discover that he was indeed at Wyldeport as well, in a place called the Hymn of Wine. Bee and Rowan, in the meantime, watched as the local fae delivered gifts of berries and fresh pies during the night. Only being able to guess at the rationale, the entire party enjoyed these fine fares. Finally, the party reached Wyldeport, a thriving and colourful city with a giant globe of swirling colours in its centre. This, they were told, was the court, where the Fae resided, as Tatiana had told Tiernan over the course of the trip. Split into 4 sections, the Melody of Stars, the Opera of Flowers, the Hymn of Wine, and the Chant of Frost, it was a place ruled singularly by the Fae and sat outside the influence of the Accords. Tatiana warned the party to tread carefully inside, although also excitedly explained it was a place of wonder and excitement. The party then reached the Outside Inn, a place to stay located on the very edge of the court. While getting organised, however, Bee let slip that she was from the Empire, a fact that only Rowan and Delgrim were aware of. Confusion reigned as Delgrim hustled the party inside so that the matter could be discussed further and in a more private setting. Food was ordered and rooms secured before everyone, except Rowan, who wanted no part of the potential argument brewing, piled into a single room. Questions were asked of the young drow as she told them what she knew of the Empire and the challenges she faced. The spellhounds, the danger of the mage rot, the Vanator, and the rather arduous trip that she had made to come to Southern Peldorn in the first place. With the party now safely in Wyldeport, what would their next actions be? How would they cross the borders of the Empire without Miera or Bee being caught due to the arcane ways? How would they secure a ship north? And what about Aloysius and the mystic delirium and the other mysteries of this strange Fey city? It's around lunchtime. You have all partaken in food as the calm of the conversation has settled somewhat. Rowan, I'm actually going to go to you first because you had separated yourself from the group at this point in time. Um, was there anything in particular that you were wanting to do? Were you leaving at sort of a certain period of time before going back to the group? Were you just sort of chilling out?
She just sort of went and like unpacked her stuff, went through all the things from being on the road. It's just sort of a very like self-housekeeping thing because she was like, I'm sure that all of the things that I have already discussed with B are about to be what's discussed, and I also don't want to be involved in any of the potential argument about who knew what. So she sort of waits what she feels is like the amount of time that that might take, and then would kind of head back towards the room to just be like, is everybody good?
So you would walk back into the room to see the party, the rest of the group, positioned probably somewhat awkwardly around because there's not exactly a whole lot of room in here for everybody to be sitting around and stuff. Um, the rest of you guys, what are you up to? As Rowan rolls into the room.
Rowan, perfect timing. I've had absolute amazing brain thought. Can you invite or share space in your creepy disappearing touring with other people?
Oh, I've never tried, but I don't think so at the moment. Um, I don't know, maybe if I work out how it all works more, then I will be able to. I don't really know.
We have to try. It may be only way to keep Miera and B from being savagely set upon by spellhounds.
That's a really good idea, Delgrim.
I know it's a really good idea. I only ever have good ideas, Tin, and how many times I have to tell you this?
Many. Do you need it? Can we help at all, Rowan?
No, I think it's okay. She's just like, I'm just trying to like Kate the player is just double checking when certain things can happen levels wise. Give me like half a second.
If it helps, it's a wee bit.
It's a wee bit, yeah. I was gonna say I'm pretty sure it's
Incredible.
Yeah. It was like the DM might have checked straight
Yeah,
up
I was
last
like-
session or something.
I
B
checked
and
last
Miera,
session. I don't remember, so that's
B and Miera will be well and truly dead by the time that's a possibility, is what I'm hearing. Great.
yeah.
I've loved my like 5 episodes here. Thank you, Ham. It's been nothing but a joy.
To be fair, I don't think you can kill Miera, so invincible.
I mean, I can try, but I don't know if it's gonna work.
Do you want to try now? See how it goes.
Who am I trying to fit in the what? Because you have not told her what she's supposed to be doing. She's going, "Can you take someone?" And she's like, "I don't think so, but okay."
Well,
I can
Miera's
try.
smaller than B. Why don't you try with Miera?
If there is danger associated, I will volunteer myself as test.
I can also only do it like once a day. So if like we can't do it, we'd have to stay overnight here. You know that, okay? Okay. She's gonna like put her hand on your shoulder, and I'll use my genie's vessel, and I'll disappear.
Yeah. 1 minute Rowan said that the next minute there's that almost familiar sound of the ring hitting the wooden floor. And no, Delgrim, you are still very much there.
The inside of ring looks very much like outside of ring.
Can I attempt to gaslight and just be like, "Oh my god, it worked. He's gone."
I'm gonna
I
roll.
say that out loud.
I hear
out
that.
loud.
Also, by the way,
Yeah.
I hear that, and I'm just like, just in.
What are you doing? Insight check?
Yeah.
Okay, B, roll a deception check for me, please.
Okay, great.
Can Miera assist by gasping and going,
If you want to, sure.
Okay, great. Do I get advantage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, deception, you say.
Oh,
Yeah.
level 10. There we go. That's what I was trying to check.
That's a dirty 20.
Wow. What was your insight? I wasn't even double figures, was it?
I rolled a 3.
Excellent.
So may I ask, Tiernan and Grumpfel, sorry, how do you guys react to this?
Well, Tin's looking at B in confusion and shock, and then looks directly at you, Delgrim, and then looks back at B, and then looks back at you and goes,
I would like wink at you when you looked at me. I'd be like, wink.
I want to do an insight for Grumpfel to see if he's caught on what's happening, and because he doesn't want to deliberately be nasty to a member of the party, what's that, 11 insight, that's 18. So I'm
Look,
guessing he figures out what's going on. He's
Yeah.
just going to be quiet.
Yeah, okay. Delgrim, I mean, my dude, how does Delgrim react to this situation?
Rowan?
You can't see her anywhere.
I'm just standing comically like,
Rowan, where are you? And then I guess Delgrim will kind of go up there in front of B and Tiernan and just be like
I
waving in front
do
of
my
them.
best not to react at all.
Delgrim, too close.
Ah! Tiernan, I'm not in the ring. Okay.
Well, that was plainly obvious.
Well, I don't know what the inside of ring look like or how to work. I don't know.
Wait, Tiernan, you can see him?
Tiernan just does this slow turn and looks at you, B, and just says, "Aren't we doing this for your safety and benefit?"
Oh, yeah, but obviously it didn't work. So, I mean, we can laugh about it.
I guess, but if Delgrim seriously thought that worked and then was encouraged to do it again, would you sort of be playing with your own life?
Yep. I guess it's my life to play with, though, right?
And Miera's.
No. I'm not gonna do anything to Miera.
It is unfortunate that it evidently has not worked, but it is okay. We'll find some other way to hide the two of you away from snarling,
It was-
yapping spellhound.
It was definitely worth the try. I mean, I wasn't sure what we were going to have happen, whether Rowan would able to have someone accompany her, or I wasn't sure whether it was going to be magic words or magic actions. I wasn't expecting anyone to think, to wink, to do a double blink, to close their eyes and jump. It could have been any number of things, but at least we've had a try.
Perhaps Rowan needs to, I don't know, practice, maybe get a better understanding of her powers, because it would be a great asset if it worked.
It would be very useful. And Delgrim will kind of lean down to the rig, pick it up off the floor. Rowan, you can come out now. It did not work. It's okay. You can come out. Rowan.
Just
Rowan.
general question, Ham. How loud is that banging?
Look, I
It's
think it would be.
Because
I think it
technically
would.
speaking, I can hear whatever's going on.
Yeah.
So
I think due to the nature of the magic, it would sound like a dull, like a distant thunder, almost like that kind of like, it wouldn't be super loud because that would be a truly terrible thing to happen.
yeah.
But like the whole ring would sort of maybe just shake just a little bit as he bangs away on it.
Does Rowan get like literal movement in it? Like someone picks it up and tips it, where she is, does it move? Like, I Dream of Jeannie when they picked up the bottle
No.
and you see, Barbara Eden running back and forth sort of thing. It doesn't have anything like that.
No,
I think. God.
no.
I believe the technical description is hang on.
I think
It
it's
is
like
a
pocket dimension.
and it's an extra dimensional space, and it
Yeah.
has it's appointed with cushions and low tables and is a comfortable temperature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotel Rowan. Okay,
Hotel
so
Rowan.
what are you guys now doing? Having discovered that, despite Delgrim's good idea, that it appears that Rowan, at least at this stage, can't have other people inside the ring with her. What are the plans? And again, you're looking at, it's about lunchtime.
I think we have lunch with us.
You do. You at this stage, you've probably eaten, etc. by now as well, just for expediency's sake. So, what are you guys doing?
Miera wants to see if she can actually fit in the bag of holding, or at least try to get like a leg or something in there.
You could get like a foot. It's like a satchel. It's
A
not,
whole foot,
It's not that big. You could get like a foot and leg into it, but there is no way that you could get all of your somewhat diminutive stature inside it.
Well, that was my idea, so that one's out.
You also realize that climbing in there, you'd also be in there with the rather
Bone quick.
bits of body that people have deposited in there and stuff as well. So
We should probably clean that out occasionally.
Tiernan, you have longest arm reach. I feel like this is a good job for you.
No, it's not. I'm not going into the bag of holding.
I also don't want to go in the bag of holding, if that's okay.
No one has to go into bag of holding.
From the sounds of it, I think it's got to do. I guess it's something we'll have to What's the expression? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I prefer fuck around and find out.
Clean that bag when we come to it. It'll be fine. Delgrim will resume tapping on the ring, trying to get Rowan's attention, getting her to come back out.
Ham, can I send a message?
Are you
Can
wanting
you
to...
send a message to extra-dimensional spaces becomes the question.
So, when you say message, just to clarify, are you using...
Sending. I want to use sending.
Okay, who are you wanting to use sending to?
Larry?
Okay.
The Fae with the power.
Over Delgrim's soul.
Correct.
Sure. Absolutely, you can use sending.
Just to be clear, Rowan is not coming out. She's just like currently more amused at Delgrim tapping on the ring than anything else. This isn't like if you start getting super frustrated, she'll pop back out again.
This is like the troll Delgrim day. Like
This is like
Yeah.
I'm
Oh my
comfy
God.
right now. Why would I come out? I can be in here for ages. I just need
It's
one more level of proficiency, and I can have a full long rest in here.
It's like the next time you pop out, you need to come out like covered in like streamers and glitter. So everyone thinks there's just some raging party inside there. It's like, whew, man, that was the time. Anyway, Miera, you're wanting to use sending to send a message to Larry. You've got 26 words.
Mm-hmm.
What is the message that you're going to send him?
Tap, 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 tap. Hello, is this thing on? Hello.
Hi, Larry. It's Miera. The Nugget. Do you know anything about how to evade spellhounds? You can reply.
Okay. What time of the day was it? It was lunchtime, wasn't it? Lunchtime. The response you get is, well, hello, Miera. It's a delight to hear from you. I know nothing of spellhounds, sorry. But Priscilla says hello.
Um,
And I would like you to keep track of your spell slots.
yes. Oh. Okay, so yeah, Larry knows nothing about spellhounds, but apparently he's with Priscilla.
Priscilla. Remind me, who was Priscilla again?
One of the priests, so Wex and Priscilla.
Oh.
Should I check to see he's not eating her?
Is that a real concern?
Well, I don't know.
Only if they have not
Maybe?
been able to provide sacrifice. I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure they have healthy relationship between sexy, sensual cat and small village.
I think he's. I'm going to use another sending because I have to know. Larry, what are you doing with Priscilla? Please don't eat her. Does she know anything about spellhounds?
Okay. There is probably a good 5 or 6 minutes before you get a reply. Oh, I have no desire to eat Priscilla. She is truly lovely. And we're on a little trip together. She doesn't know anything about spellhounds either, though. And stay safe, little nugget.
Put a pin in that, and I will return to that at a later date.
Sending is a verbal spell, right? Like they have to say the things out loud.
I believe so.
Mhm.
Do you want to just double check that one?
Yeah.
Oh, we've got there's a few people nodding.
I don't think it actually specifically says it. It says you can send a short message,
Verbal
25
somatic.
words. Oh,
I
yeah,
think it's
sorry.
verbal somatic.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
pretty
but
sure.
it's the message part of the verbal component of the spell.
Yeah.
You guys have met people that eat people?
He's not a people.
Is that like another thing we have to worry about? Are we gonna get eaten?
Well, he was a member of the Fae, so we're in a
What?
Fae town, maybe.
What resemble Fae creature. He not going to eat anyone. I gave him my blood. We have made blood pact that he not to do so long as he get regular feed from small village.
You shouldn't give people your blood.
It was only a little bit of blood. It's fine.
Yep, and you shouldn't give anyone any blood. I'm realizing now how contradictory that sounds.
Why is that?
Oh wait, did I tell this story? I feel like I did. Yeah, I did. I told you that all the blood was drained from my body.
Excellent. If only I'd taken
Yeah.
proper notes.
Was it put back up? Interesting.
We should consider taking your own advice, perhaps.
Absolutely not.
So, Larry has provided, unfortunately, no extra context in regards to spellhounds. However, he is apparently hanging out with Priscilla and they are up to something. What are you guys going to do now?
By this stage, Tiernan's probably pulled out his compass,
Mhm.
and it's just checking the reading.
Cool. So you have a look at this strange device, and the rest of the party would notice that once again Tiernan is looking at this instrument that he's built. The result is the same. It's still very much indicating Wyldeport, where you are, but it is not specific enough beyond that.
So the reading has essentially changed in the sense of if I move past the point, like points the other direction, but it's not precise enough to.
Correct. Yeah. So it's like you like if you were, you might have checked it when you were walking through the streets, and it's like you're in the general vicinity, but it's unable to be more specific than that.
Mm-hmm. Like you can just say it just starts spinning, unable to pick a point if you want, makes it easier. Because it wasn't supposed to be terribly accurate.
Yeah.
What is your little machine showing, Tiernan?
Pardon?
What is your little machine showing you? You keep looking at it.
I think my mum's in this town.
What?
Yeah.
As you say that, Rowan pops out with a what? Facial expression.
Taking Delgrim completely by surprise.
I assumed that all of your family was on Carthabal. Does that mean Carthabal is nearby?
No, it's not. It's way over in. What direction is it in, Ham?
You would at this point in time, you possibly make a history roll for me.
Yeah. And
south probably, as far as you would ascertain, considering how long you've been out and all that kind of stuff.
it's thousands of miles to the south, Grumpfel. No.
No.
half the reason why I left Kafar Bar was to find my parents. They left on various excursions and haven't been back in a while.
You say, Tiernan, that you were on entire wrong side of the continent to be able to, from where you thought you'd find them.
Yeah, because I sort of left Kafar Bar in a hurry, and I forgot to check where we were before I left the city.
But we are definitely not on the other side of the continent now. What make you think your mother is here?
Well, the only information I had to go on was where Dad was last going, and that was Canterwell. And we're way, plenty far distance away from Canterwell. So I sort of was able to jerry-rig a device to help me at least give me an idea of whether or not I was going in the right direction. But that would be pointing to Mum, not Dad. And Mum, she hopefully will be with Dad. I don't know.
Well, we must find her while we're here before we leave.
Oh,
yes?
yeah, it's definitely. I have no intention of leaving the city until I find her.
We have to go arrange for a ship. Perhaps we go do that, and while we do that, you look into possible whereabouts of your mother. I would be very keen to meet person who resulted in this. I have many questions.
Okay, but you may not get all the answers, is all.
It's fine.
But you guys don't mind helping me?
I'm happy to help.
Tiernan,
Okay.
you have saved my life on many times. Of course I help you find your parent.
Okay, I
Yes,
just
if-
not too sure where to start. Like, I know there's 3 inns in town. We're at one of them. The only idea I really had was perhaps maybe asking innkeepers. Shard folks tend to stand out. That's why I'm in my elven disguise, because he's still got disguise self running.
Hmm.
Do you know anything that she carries? Like really specifically, or do you have anything of hers?
I look down at the compass. I have something of hers, yes. But why?
I might be able to help.
Really?
I can cast spells that help me like locate where people or objects are, specifically objects. So you would more kind of have to know what she carries, I guess.
So you can't do it off an existing object.
No, but I feel like if I have something of hers, that it might just add to the familiarity of her existence.
Would Tiernan count as something of hers?
Maybe, but do you know anything that she carries now?
Oh.
Like a jewelry or
Like a picture of Tiernan.
Yeah,
Rowan's
or like-
trying real hard. Big,
Does she wear-
like, hopeful family energy.
Are
very
your
small
parents
pet.
married? Are your parents married?
Yes, they're married.
Do they wear rings?
Oh, yes. In fact,
Can you draw it for me?
yes, I can. I can't. Not just that. There's also an energetic link with, and he literally holds up this compass. From this compass to her matching ring.
Okay.
And there's literally, and he's starting to pull this compass to pieces to get this.
Oh gosh. I don't want you to break your things, but it might help.
How confident are you?
Well, magic has its limitations. So she would have to be within 1,000 feet. But I can hold this for 10 minutes. So if you want to go for like a walk and try and figure out where she could be or what
yes.
direction.
Yes, definitely. He literally grabs a pencil. Let me just quickly draw it. He just rips out some piece of paper and he starts drawing this detail.
Don't rush it. Just take your time.
He's good at schematic drawing, so
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes
Mm.
into crazy detail
So
of exactly what is required of this object.
So, I'm gonna get you to make like an Arcana. I want you to make it's an intelligence roll plus your proficiency bonus. That's how we're gonna frame this.
All right. Natural 20.
Natural 20. Holy shit.
Mm.
Okay.
Happy birthday, John!
Happy fucking
birthday.
birthday. Yeah.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. You're not allowed to complain about bad rolls for the rest of the session. So there you go.
Well,
You
to be
better-
fair,
Oh.
it previously rolled a 3, and this time it rolled a 20. So
Okay. So you
Glad to
you
play
spend
this
some
much.
you spend some time drawing that, and it would probably be a decent chunk of time because you're so focused on that, and we've just lost Heath.
Oh no.
oh,
Heath, where have you gone?
Oh,
no!
Grumpfel, no!
Oh,
I'm the one
he's-
that disappears.
Yeah.
Oh no!
it's like get your
Oh,
own
no,
roll.
Grumpfel.
Emily is Grumpfel now.
Oh no, brew.
Joke's on you, I've been Grumpfel all along.
Grumpfel all
Knew it.
that long.
So whilst Tiernan is doing that,
If it's okay, Ham, I would be sitting by Tiernan, just kind of not bothering him or like watching over his shoulder like a hawk, but just like encouraging person sitting there being like, yay, let's go.
Tiernan actually doesn't find that very intrusive at all. He's generally used to people looking over his shoulder like that.
so whilst you're doing that, what are other people? Is there anything anyone wants to do in the meantime?
Uh,
I will do something while we're waiting. Can I send another? Well, I want to use sending again.
Okay.
Can I send a message to, or can I reach out to Gerlach?
You can try for sure.
Because it says that it's any distance, even to other planes of existence. So I want to reach out to Gerlach, and basically ask the same question. So like, hi Gerlach, it's Miera. Quick question. Do you know anything about evading spellhounds? You can reply.
That is genius.
Or insane.
Yeah, it's genius if it goes to the correct one. If there's one on this
Exactly.
plane, it's gonna be
that's the problem.
But, she
But
has to be
it's with the
familiar.
creature I'm familiar with. So
Yeah, but
I'm
it's the
only
same
familiar
person.
with that Gerlach.
But she wouldn't be familiar with this.
I
flamed girl.
fucking love multiversal shit, man.
Yeah.
This is
Same
The-
person,
rad.
though.
the DM. And so with that, Hay says, do you want to bring up NVC because he's here with us right? No, I'm kidding. He's not.
I got really
NVC in the
scared.
chat
I
going,
was
wait,
like,
wait,
no.
hold on.
I actually
Give me 5
believed you
minutes.
for a moment. Holy shit.
I
Yeah.
believed you the entire time, Jason, and now I'm really sad.
I would not be entrusted with a secret that big.
Nothing happens.
Aw,
You
Ham,
get
you
no
50 bucks.
response.
I'm
It
not
was
giving you 50 bucks now. I'm not paying for that.
it was a wonderful idea.
Im says no.
But alas, for some reason, you send this message and there is no response. Now, the other thing is you also don't know whether or not they received the message.
Mhm. But that's fine. Because if it's the wrong Gerlach, then they don't know who Miera is anyway, so it'll be fine.
Hey guys. Is it just Miera that we're trying to hide?
No. B as well.
And it's more
I
than
mean,
hiding. They got to hide their magical.
Yeah, I know. It depends on how long you want it to happen for. But I could hide one of them, maybe, because my magic, from what B said, isn't the same as your magic, because it doesn't come from the same place. But I can only do it for an hour.
That might be all we need, Rowan. We'll only need it if we in the vicinity of spellhounds. Otherwise, we just creep and sneak and be careful.
I just don't
Yes?
know if it'll work.
What do you have in mind?
Okay, so if I do this, I'm definitely going to need a nap before I have to do anything more because you keep asking me to do cool big things. It makes me tired. Can I borrow you for a minute? This is going to be weird though. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes. Of course.
Okay. Hey, what's your favorite animal?
My favorite animal. Well, let me tell you. Once I saw this incredibly large spider, and it's shaped exactly like the rock that it was hiding in, to the point where you could not see it. I almost walked and smacked it right in the face.
Can I cast Polymorph and turn Promethean into that spider, please? Turn Delgrim into that spider that he is describing.
Yeah, not Delgrim, just turn Promethean.
Yeah,
Just turn Promethean
yeah.
into that spider. Please and thanks.
Yeah, look, there's this is cool. Absolutely. Delgrim, so look, we don't get to see a lot of kind of magical stuff from Rowan in this capacity. So, Kate, what does it look like when Rowan casts the spell?
Yeah, so because Dal, right? It's like Delgrim it's like he turns to stone and then it cracks and there's no longer Delgrim, there is a spider.
Amazing. So you feel a weird sensation begin to sort of take you over, Delgrim. You don't know what it is. You know Rowan is doing something.
You also have a save if you want it, or you cannot save against it. It's
exactly, which was my next question was, do you want to resist? So you let this happen.
No, we're testing a way to keep being mirror safe, so no, I'll fail that.
So the next thing you know, Delgrim is not there. There is a very large, pretty gross looking spider. Now, of course, remembering when you are polymorphed that you have the intelligence of that creature. So does that mean Delgrim gets smarter? I'm not sure. I'm a bit confused.
Wow! You absolutely.
Hang on. What are Delgrim's what's your intelligence score?
Delgrim's.
Yeah.
It's not a very polite thing to ask.
I'm asking because I have the stat block for a giant spider in front of me.
Is 12.
Well, your intelligence would go to 2.
Yes, I see that.
And your wisdom would still be 11. So you're still wise. You're just dumb.
Yeah, okay.
And your charisma is now 4.
Yeah.
So like the same.
Shit, that's an improvement. No, this thing immediately just starts scuttling about kind of from side to side, banging into stuff, like really
I am going to immediately drop concentration because
awkwardly walking around on these 8 legs. And then when concentration drops, we'll probably end up sideways on like a stool somewhere. What? That was the most creepy and also incredible thing I've ever felt. What did you do?
Turned you into your favorite animal? And then she's just the little smile of like, I did a thing.
I was so fast. Did you see me doing a little skitter? But at the same time, I had so many legs. I didn't know how to work them all. I figured it out 4, but there are 4 whole other legs. And we'll kind of look behind him and just see a little bit of web that might have dropped during the excitement. Just kind of poke it a little bit. This came out of me?
It's still just a little bit damp.
Delgrim, I have a terrible idea on how to get a new source of spider milk for you.
Tiernan, you are a genius. I could make absolute fortune.
Not it.
I will say only an hour if I'm paying attention, and also like 1 at a time. That's it.
What if I said my favorite animal was like a griffin or a dragon or something like that. Can you turn into those things?
I don't know if I can do that, but I've never actually done it before, so that was cool.
It was really cool. Thank you.
That's okay.
Rowan, your pocket, the rock,
Yeah.
feels just a little bit warmer than usual when you drop
Okay.
the concentration.
I don't know if that was a good idea, though. And she's gonna put her hand in to, like, grab it in the way of, like, good warm, bad warm. You tell me what this is.
You put your hand into your pocket, and it's just a little bit warmer. But when you put your fingers in, you're like, oh, and there's like sand, not a lot, but it's like, you know how when you leave the beach and there's always just that little bit of sand in the bottom.
If I said like the kind of sand that I've experienced beforehand when I was, say, somewhere comfy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Oh. She's just, like, you just sort of, like, she pulls her hand back out again, like, dusts as much as possible, dusts the sand off into her pocket to remain in her pocket as she removes her hand from her pocket.
Yep.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's any good, because I also don't know if they'd be able to spot it. And she's, like, sort of half saying this to be, but yeah, I can do that, I guess.
We'd have to have B or Miera. I have to have you do the test on B or Miera and see if they can do magic things. Yes?
I mean, if we're sneaking in, we don't really need to do anything magical in that time. What we could do to test that it's gonna work and it won't alert anyone is maybe Miera, do you have the ability to detect magic?
Do I?
Oh,
Do I have that?
B. Can I get you to make an Arcana roll for me, please?
Whoa, sure. Absolutely.
I don't think I do have the ability to do that. I could detect thoughts.
That's a 15.
15. Okay. As you say that, you kind of have a bit of a ponder. You're not 100% sure how the spellhounds or the Vanator in some respects sense the arcane, because with the studies that you've done, like a magical spell, the magical spells that you would have seen at the consortium around the ability to detect magic, detects all types of magic. It is agnostic of where it comes from, whether it's from a different plane, whether it's arcane, whether it's divine, whatever it might be. So yeah, in that respect, it would be a detect magic spell.
I would get the sense that, I guess, it's just going to detect everything. It's not going to only detect the arcane.
Yeah. So, but these individuals, these hounds, this group, the Vanator, are known for having specific ways to be able to sense the arcane specifically. But
So
you're not sure whether or not, if something was polymorphed, if that would help or not. Interesting thought experiment, though. It kind of gets probably your brain kind of ticking a bit.
I do have one question, and I'm purely asking because this is my first time playing a spellcaster.
For sure.
So I genuinely have no idea what I'm doing. But it does say that I can learn the school of magic.
Yep.
Would I get the sense that I could differentiate like an aura or an energy between like the magic that Rowan is casting versus the magic that I am casting?
It's the detect magic spell is not tuned in that fashion. It's tuned in the fashion of it's abjuration magic. It's
okay, no,
evocation
cool. That
magic.
makes sense. Okay,
Yeah.
sick. I learned something today.
But as I said before, the concept of the polymorph is actually very interesting because you would not be sure if that would like how much does that conceal the inherent nature of the person. It might not.
I also have a really weird question for you, Ham.
Mhm.
What's the challenge rating of the party? Because it matters as to what I can turn them into. That's why I'm actually asking, because I
Yeah.
need to know the CR.
I believe the CR effectively is meant to be the same as your level or something like that.
Sick.
What?
Sick.
The other
Say
thing,
that again?
I don't
other-
think
I
so,
will-
but sure.
I will double check that. The other thing, though, to be conscious of as well is that when you polymorph something, you have to have seen that thing before.
Yeah.
So,
That's
for
why
all
the
those-
giant spider wasn't particularly accurately Delgrim's giant spider.
Yeah, so for all
It
those
was
people who are like, yeah, Tyrannosaurus Rex time, it's like, yeah, no, that's not a default. Like, you can just instantly do that kind of stuff. It's got to be something.
Yeah. But I saw some weird stuff in the other place already out the window, so
And look, that's a discussion that it sounds like you and me might need to have. We'll figure that out when we get there.
Also, have I technically seen my patron?
No.
Dual hand's always an option.
We just need to find ourselves a bunch of elementals, guys. It's the goal now. 'Cause-
Look, you've opened a door of
Look, welcome to higher level characters as they start to get some of the stuff which makes the DM's life a living hell.
I love experimental, Rowan. This is great.
Is
less
this
experimental,
sketch-
more defensive anyway. But
Is
yeah.
this sketch good enough, B? I should have finished by about now, so.
Hamish, does it look good enough to me?
It's a very good drawing. The spell says it needs to be something that you are familiar with. So
I'm
you
aware.
are possibly stretching the bounds of this type of magic. And 1,000 feet isn't
Super big. Yeah, no.
super big, but you think there's possibly a chance it'll work.
I'm
And like
willing
everything,
to try.
all you can do is give it a crack.
Say
Yeah,
crack
you've-
again.
Crack.
You've sort of given Tiernan false hope here.
Hey, I said I could try. I didn't say I could do it. I guess B will look at the drawing, take a moment to kind of take as much in as she can. And she will say, it's been a little while since I've cast this, so we can only try.
How familiar do you need to be with the... Do you need to be familiar with the item? Oh, I wouldn't know that, sorry.
What I will say, and this is, I guess, disregarding that, is what I will say is that, this is your mum, so I'm hoping that by you being here and, I don't know, being familiar and understanding her a little bit, it might help. So, and she will, hold out her hand to you, as in like a please take my hand.
I do.
Great. And then with her free hand, being that we've just traveled through a forest and I've smushed pie onto my face at some point and there's been branches and leaves and trees everywhere, I'm gonna in my big buffy curls, reach through and pull out a small little twig and I'm going to break it in my fingers. And then I'm going to cast Locate Object, focusing on this drawing of this ring and holding onto Tiernan's hand.
I love it. I love the description of the spell castings tonight so far. It's been cool. All right. I want you to please make an Arcana roll for me, B.
At
Yay.
which point, I think the spell that B is casting. Okay, don't worry about it. I was gonna try and help, but
No,
I don't think you need it.
Do it. You don't know.
I was gonna say the spell kind of washes over Delgrim a little bit, and I think there's a bit of a feedback loop, and so his kind of more grounded sense of magic kicks in, And what I was going to pitch Ham is that he will also cast Locate Object, hopefully giving B advantage on that Arcana check then.
I didn't
As a
roll a natural
consequence.
20, so
Okay, all right. Delgrim, to see whether or not you can basically kind of try and weave your magic in, because you both approach this from very different.
True, but we've also very recently combined the magics of the group
Mm,
to
mm.
great effect.
Yeah, you Voltroning the shit out
and
of it.
also
I was
me
going to
and
go
Delgrim,
for
we helped
Mighty
each
Morphin
other
Peldon
out.
Rangers.
It's gonna be fine. We,
Um,
teamed up before now.
I want
Hey,
you.
your call, Big
I
Daddy.
want you, Delgrim, to please roll a survival check
Sure.
for me.
Tiernan wants to add
Because-
something to you as well, if you can.
Mm.
But finish first.
Triple stack.
If it helps, although this is only a drawing, it has a piece of this in it, and he pulls out his pistol and shows the canister where you see a floating shard inside the of the barrel of the gun. And I want to be able to use Flash of Genius if I could.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm fucking 100% down with this. Okay, so Delgrim, what did you roll for your actually in nature or survival, which either is better? I think they're probably the same.
They're the same, so 13 takes us to 17.
17. Tiernan, whose flash of brilliance or genius or whatever it is are you using it with?
Are you gonna ask what I rolled?
And just in oh yeah, look, fair. Yep. What did you roll?
27.
Sorry?
27.
Fucking fuck buckets. Okay.
Guess I'm going to pick the highest.
Okay. Okay, so you're
It's gotta
I
be
guess
B anyway.
Grumpfel puts away his guidance spell then and waits on us.
So add
Okay.
+4
Wish
to your
people
roll.
would stay in their fucking lane.
+4 to my roll?
Yeah, no, +4.
31? 31 Arcana. Eat me, Ham. Fuck you.
wow. Wow.
Hey, you're doing it for
Oh.
me here. Don't piss off
Let me
that
dinner
DM.
first. Okay.
Oh dear, dear.
I just dropped so many things. I just need you to know.
So using the magic that you've learned, B, studying the picture, you reach out with the arcane energy which you have become skilled with. Initially, there's nothing, and then you sort of see off to the side of you Delgrim. Delgrim, actually, because we're on a roll here, describe to me how you actually cast the spell. Like, what do you physically do? Because casting the spell requires certain actions and stuff.
Yeah, look, theoretically it does. I feel like a lot of Delgrim's magical efforts are very inside voicey.
Yeah, okay.
Which is very counterintuitive given the nature of Delgrim in
Yep.
the world in general. And it's one of the reasons why he doesn't necessarily trust it or understand it, is that he can sense when this is happening, when these things are happening, and he can learn how to control them to a degree.
Yep.
But it's very much similar to the calm emotions and to the casting of Zone of Truth, where the initial casting of this is it's entirely internal. It's as though Delgrim just goes into a completely kind of Zen state.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no flashy kind of whiz-bangy fireworks or lights or, any kind of cool shit that goes with it. There is just a subtle sense of presence that goes along with it. And in this case, I think that's going to essentially just establish something of a feedback loop between Delgrim and B. And together, the two of them kind of might rock back and forth a little bit as they collectively envision this object and try and find it.
So you almost feel like the magic that you've called forth, B, is amplified from what Delgrim is providing, and then you you start to get just that very slight sensation of direction. It's almost too difficult to ascertain. Probably like it is beyond the range of the spell. However, upon Tiernan showing you the small cylinder, it's like just as the spell energy sort of flares out for the briefest of moments, because your skill check went over 30, which is basically impossible, you get a flash of direction, which you are very, very aware of points straight at the court.
Okay, and I get the sense that it felt like it was out of the range of the spell, so outside of 1,000 feet.
Outside of 1,000 feet.
Great. The second I kind of feel the direction, I'm going to, with my free hand, just point and hold my hand there until I guess that feedback loop stops. Because the spell lasts for 10 minutes, I look at Tiernan and at Delgrim, and then I look back at Tiernan and I go, direction is that way? It's outside 1,000 feet. This lasts 10 minutes, so I don't know whether you want to start just closing distance. I just know that this is the direction.
He's grabbing you and pulling you out the door.
Ah!
And Delgrim will kind of like beckon to Miera and Rowan and Grumpfel, like, come on, let's go! We're going to find Tiernan's mother.
And this lasts 10 minutes, so yeah.
Yeah, come on, we've got to be quick. Come on, before it runs out. He's super excited, and yeah.
And if you are okay, I will attempt not to let go of your hand during the duration of this 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. He's literally dragging you.
Rowan's going to buddy up with Miera because the two of them can't move as fast as everybody else. So at least if the two of us stay together, then we're not.
Grumpfel's not fast either.
Yeah, like those of us who are not 30 feet a second.
We'll keep with Rowan and Miera for sure.
You all bundle out of the room, following this direction. B, the spell energy, while the spell is still in effect, that sense of direction has now passed. It was a momentary, exceptional situation.
Okay.
But you know the direction. The spell itself is still in action. So you guys bundle your way sort of out through the common room of the outside in.
I think I would make Tiernan aware of that as well, just to make sure that I'm not like maintaining a false kind of hope. So I would just kind of say, I've lost it, but if we just follow that direction, we might get somewhere.
And Delgrim will do some ranger shit, take like some
Bearing.
kind of bearing and make sure that they're going in that same direction then.
Yes, super easy. I'm not even going to get you to roll for that.
Lucky, because
because otherwise you'd end up going the wrong direction or something like that. So
What you've been in this city before. What's in that direction, B?
So as you guys bundle through the common room, you can see that it is probably more full than when you guys were first here. You can see a number of the fair folk appear to have started to sort of fill up this place. Their elaborate garb and masks on. You catch a very short glimpse of Tatiana off to one side with the small group of fair folk that she went to say, and she sort of, you can see her turn and give you guys a bit of a quizzical look as this trail follows B with her arm out. And as you go outside, Tiernan, you would be able to see, and B, like she's pointing like directly at where the court is. This giant swirling dome, which takes up multiple blocks, but it is pointed directly in that direction at least.
So we're going to the courts then.
Guess so.
it could be there, it could be past there. It makes sense if she's here. It's a hub of social activity. Yes, perhaps it makes sense. What is your mother's name, Tiernan, if we are all going to be looking for her?
Kian.
Tian.
Kian.
I'm going to forget that in about 2 minutes. I think I should stay with you.
Well, I can write it down for you if you like.
On what?
On the
He's always got paper with him in one of his pockets.
Excellent.
He spells it Lian.
So you make your way following the rough direction. You can't necessarily go straight that way because there's not a street that's necessarily right where sort of you're pointing towards be, but you're able to roughly maintain the right direction with the help of Delgrim as well.
Despite knowing that it's a momentary ping, by the way, I would still be concentrating on the spell in case for any reason
100%. Yeah.
a miracle happened.
Yeah. So you make your way quickly through the streets, still following it. And you at this time of the day, it's quite a bustling town. There's a number of people. You've sort of got to wind your way through. Regular looking townsfolk. You see every now and then a pixie will flutter past you. A strange, 2-3 foot tall, gnarled little creature will sort of race past the street, and then you'll just see regular folks going about their days, and then the fair folk with a kaleidoscope of colors as you wind your way through. Just as you get to the very edge of the spell about to end, you can see up ahead be the edge of the dome that makes up the court. And just as the spell dies off, you get a single ping of it's definitely in that direction.
Which I would make Tiernan aware of.
And with that, the spell fades.
I can't do it anymore. I mean, I can recast it, but yeah.
You had a hard time the first time.
I'm willing to, though, if it helps you find your mum.
I have an idea, but... And he starts to look around the fact that are we just standing in the street? Where this bubble, does it just pass through the street, or?
So you can see that where you are now, you can't see the edge of it. You can see it over the top of the houses, and it's apparent that the buildings nearby have been built around the edge of it.
So it's a building?
Sorry?
Is the bubble a building or a dome? Like a
No.
The
magical
dome,
dome?
I think it was described.
It's a dome. It's a dome of swirling colors, and the buildings have been
okay.
built around the edge of it. So it's obviously been here for however long, and stuff's been set up around it. So you can't actually see the edge of it, but if you go one way or one direction or the other, there's people get in there somehow. There must be an entrance somewhere.
Do people just cross the boundary? How do we enter this thing?
I've never been in there.
Does it look similar, Ham, to the sphere that we encountered on the road? No. Okay. Well, we go in and we look around. We ask one of the locals for advice on how to proceed. Yes.
This side or that side?
Straight line. Follow the spell.
Is there any alleyway near here?
Away
from prying eyes?
Yeah, probably off. Yeah, to one side. There's probably a darkened corner you could get into. Sure.
B, was the ping? Was your sense? Was it within range, or was it still beyond when we got here?
It was just within. Or it was within. Yeah.
Was it-
Correct me
what-
if I'm
was-
wrong, Ham.
It was just within.
Yeah.
Okay, just we'll step off the street for a sec, please. And
You okay? Oh, we don't need
Yes.
to hold hands anymore, and I drop your hand.
let's just step off the street for a moment. I'm prepared to do something, but no one's allowed to see it.
Well, now I just really want to see it then. And why would you put it that way? Now I
No,
have to see it.
No one else.
Okay, this is good. I get to see it. I'm happy.
And
If Grumpfel, Rowan, and Miera caught up? Because I
Yeah,
just got
yeah,
this
yeah,
image
yeah.
of. Okay, cool. I might have blinked and missed that. I've got this image of you guys step into an alley and we go running past, going, "Where
Yeah.
are they?"
No, you guys, it's not like a foot race. You guys aren't
Okay.
that far behind. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Cool. I just wanted to clarify.
so we're in the alley?
Yep.
Okay, can everyone just make sure no one enters, or can we kind of like block line of sight? Hamish,
There's one of the two tallest members of the party.
Miera will position herself in front of Tiernan and puff up to provide
yeah,
as much
yeah.
cover as possible.
Rowan's going to take a step forward away from the group just to be on monitor, her usual head on a swivel, monitoring to make sure that there's no one coming around the corner.
For sure.
clarify for something for me, Hamish.
Yep.
Can I touch the shard with my hands?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to pull my pistol out.
Yep.
And open the chamber with the shard.
Mhm.
And say to, trying to hide it from any prying eyes,
Mhm.
and just say to B, locate this. Just this.
Like it's the same, but not this one.
It's part of the whole.
Does it look exactly the same?
No, but it has the same energy signature, the same material, and there will not be any, or there shouldn't be any, within miles upon miles upon miles. There should only be two.
Okay. Can I hold it?
Yes. He's a bit nervous about giving it to you.
I will very
Just-
gently take it.
He pops it into your hand. He's almost prepared to grab it out of your hand as well. But he gives it to you.
When you put it into B's hand, B, you feel a very small. It's like if you touch like a very sort of low energy, like electric fence. There's just the smallest jolt. Not uncomfortable, but also not exactly pleasant. And it feels like in your hand you're holding almost like just raw energy. You're used to manipulating this sort of stuff, but this is something you've never encountered before and feels very weird.
Okay. Tiernan, have you bathed since we got to this town?
What? I'm confused.
I'm not asking in character. Sorry, I'm asking out of character. Emily's asking John. Do you reckon Tiernan has bathed?
Bathed since he's
Yeah.
been in town.
You guys have not had a
No,
chance.
Yeah,
never the
cool.
chance.
So I'm gonna look within your clothing and find another little twig or leaf or something and just crush it in my free hand and then cast locate object on this raw vibrating thing.
This should be interesting.
Listen, everyone else was making fucking jokes. I had to do it too.
This might take us to a different back alley in this city.
Wow. This is not what I meant when I
Sorry,
gave the
Relieved
warning
from
before
it.
the session. Yeah. Jesus,
Oh,
probably
we've
just a
lost
bit
B.
choked. Um,
I'm holding out for break time. It's got to be like 9 minutes away max, surely. As you were.
okay. You cast the spell, and this time you get a much more definitive reaction as it points towards the large dome which makes up the court.
Gonna look at Tiernan and say, I hope it's not a problem if I can locate this within the city, because it's and I point at the dome.
So do you have a fix on the position
Mm-hmm.
that you can remember?
It's not like a pinpoint, like there's not like an arrow that floats above it or anything, but like it's within 1,000 feet and it's inside the court. I'll know when I get closer.
Do you have to hang on to that rock?
I don't necessarily need to hang on to it, but I think it will.
I
don't know,
immediately snatch
super
it back and put it back
Okay.
in my...
Oh,
Whoa.
okay. Sorry.
No, it's...
It lasts
It's
10 minutes. If
complicated.
you're, it's okay. You can tell me
Just-
later. It's just we have 10 minutes, so
We're on the clock. Let's go.
Everyone fine with going into the courts?
We
Do
don't
we
have
know which
time
court
to
it
ask.
is?
Well, I guess we're going.
Is there a sign up the front? Like, do we know which one it is?
That direction.
No, I mean, do we know which court it is? Wasn't there 4 courts?
Yeah.
I will just because locate, I feel like tells you the direction. It won't even be like a consideration of which court. It'll just be like we'll find out when we get to the place where there's a sign hanging above it that says Court 1.
There's no time for dilly-dally. We must go now.
So you guys leave the little dark alleyway, and at this stage, B, the magic is directing you like sort of across the street, like straight through buildings towards where the court is. So you sort of arbitrarily pick a direction to head in to try and get to the edge of this globe.
I thought we were at the edge, sorry.
You walk for like another 4 or 5 minutes, and there's like a street which turns towards it, which you head down. Whether it's due to the nature of the magic or what, up ahead you can see at the end of the street what appears to be a large arch in the side of this shimmering dome. The shimmer is still there in the middle of the archway itself. And standing at the arch, firstly, you see there's actually a line of people waiting to go in, almost like a nightclub or something, and they're predominantly all fair folk, dressed to the nines. One of the things that you notice, though, now that you're here and you're seeing all of these individuals, is that there are distinct trends in the sorts of clothing that are being worn. You can see some which are dressed in very dark black clothing, very sort of regal. There are others who are dressed in all white, but with long fur-trimmed cloaks. There are others who are dressed in a variety of very brightly colored items of clothing with flowers in their hair and very colorful motifs. And there is another group which is dressed fairly risque, skimpy outfits, very elegant but very revealing dresses. A lot of the males will be just wearing pants and no tops. Very, very different styles. At the archway itself, you can see there appears to be 4 guards. All of them appear to be elven, or at least they look elven. One is dressed in black, very decorative, beautiful plate armor. The next is in wearing a suit of white with fur-trimmed lapels and has a long, elegant spear in one hand. The next is in a flowing gown of bold reds and oranges, her hair adorned in flowers. And the last is a male wearing very loose white pantaloons, no shirt, but is absolutely ripped. The line is probably about 30 people long.
Miera, do you think you can go to the gods and tell them that you are part of delinquent harlequin group and are late for show?
I can try.
All of us part of group. And got to tell them we have to get into a city very, very quickly because we are late. We'll come with you while you explain this.
Grumpfel's going to just sort of encroach in the conversation and say, given what we've been told about the city and who holds the law, lying our way in is probably not advisable. Even though I know we're trying to hurry to help, we are, as Tiernan would put it, not getting out of Dodge just yet.
No, we're getting into Fey Court, Grumpfel.
Yes. Okay. I would say best not to lie our way in. I'm standing on this point.
Is it a lie if you believe it, though?
Oh, it is still a lie. If you believe it with all your heart and it is still an untruth, then it is... Yeah, no, not good.
What is not a lie, though, is time is running out on ability to find Tiernan's mother with spell.
As you stand there talking, some more fair folk kind of just give you a look as they walk past and join the back of the line.
Hey, Hamish, the color palette that's going on, what do you want me to roll to figure out whether this aligns with each of the courts?
You don't know anything about the courts, so there is nothing to roll.
Given other than the names of them and that there's 4 distinct different things, no?
I would leave that up to you to ascertain. So there is no... I would have you roll if you felt that there was some reason why you might know that knowledge. So it might be a history roll or something like that if there was some reason that you would know it.
I'm just thinking like one of the courts is the Chant of Frost, and you've got people in white with fur trim.
Yep.
So that led me to sort of think that maybe some of the others, could be representative of each of the courts.
Maybe they are.
The thought was that even if we try to lie our way in, we may not be dressed appropriately, and we may need to go and address that before we can even make an approach. So, yes, Grumpfel will say to the group then, I've noticed that here is 4 courts, and those trying to get in and the guards there have 4 different color fashion schemes. I'm not up on fashion of any sort, but one can observe that there are 4 courts, and these people waiting and the 4 guards have 4 different colors and themes going on. So I'm thinking that even if we are going to try to lie our way in, which again I don't want to, we need to address our dress.
Okay, Grumpfel, you can get in line and go do shopping trip. Miera, are you okay to lie to guards to get us in?
I can try.
Excellent, let's go.
I can disguise one of you if you need me to. No?
Last chance, Grumpfel, and no time. If you want to wait in line, that is entirely fine with you. But we could lose opportunity to find Tina's mother if we do not do this quickly.
Wait. I jumped the gun once. I don't want to do it again. I don't know why she's in there. I don't know if she's stuck or trapped. I don't want to make it worse. Tatiana did. She did say something about proper dress, and we look like hillbillies or something. I have to think this time. I have to think. I can't just.
Tiernan, when has thinking ever helped you? Trust in action, not thinking.
Not when I'm playing around. Not when I'm potentially making it worse for my mum. I can't do that.
It's your decision.
Mira's going to turn and walk towards one of the Fae people in line that has like the black
Hang on,
outfits
hold!
on.
No, not fair! Not fair, Ham!
You gotta be
do
quick.
this to
Hold
me.
on. So the reason that Kate is being so enthusiastic about that, Cass, is because
Just done this.
she was literally messaging me going, Can I
just-
potentially do this? So how about the two
You
of
guys all have
you
you been chatting? I'm just like, let's go ask someone.
the two of you almost
You might
simultaneously
be asking a completely different thing to me,
Yeah,
potentially.
potentially. So Miera and Rowan both kind of like turn at the same time to some people in the line. Who wants to ask questions first?
So what I had hoped to do is while they were all having this conversation,
Yep.
is to have just like they started going on and I was just like, okay, take like 3 steps down the line
Yeah.
away from the group and just
Yep.
ask a person in line like who looks fairly well dressed
Yeah.
about whether there is a dress code and like basically trying to answer the question that's being debated.
Yep.
Myself.
Cool.
And playing up the I'm not from around here. Help?
Yeah.
I got told to come here and I don't know anything. Big dumb.
Cool. Awesome.
That's the goal.
And Miera, what were you going to be doing?
My question was more of a skip to the end because we did have a conversation with Tatiana about the costumes and the required dress.
Yep.
At one point, she did mention it. So I was just going to simply ask who had I'm latching onto someone that's got the black clothes because I think that looks coolest. I'm
Yep.
going to ask them where they get their outfits from in the city.
Cool. Okay. Awesome.
Dark Mirror strikes again.
So you guys, yeah, Goth Mirror. So you guys kind of split, and you've got 2 different questions, which is cool. So we'll address both of these. So, for Rowan, yes, you approach one of them. The thing that you notice is they are all dressed exceptionally well.
Yeah.
Like even the ones who maybe aren't quite as flashy, it's still very nice. And it's this tall man in a very flamboyantly colored tunic and overcoat, an elaborate mask with gossamer wings out the side of it. And he just kind of like looks you, Rowan, up and down, and says, "Oh God, yes, there's absolutely a dress code here. I mean, there's no way that they'll let anybody in looking like you or your friend."
I guess
there.
that's why I thought I'd ask someone who looked wonderful about it because I wasn't sure what the dress code was and I didn't want to go and buy something that then was like wrong. You know, I wanted to make a good impression.
And he kind of puffs up a bit as you say that. Whilst Miera, as off, you approach, it is a dwarven woman with in this very elegant, high-necked black dress with lace ruffles. Her mask is jet black. It looks almost cat-like. And she kind of gives you a bit of a look, and she says, "Oh, I mean, most people go to courting the Fae. That's the most appropriate place to get clothing around here. At least if you want to look good."
Thank you very much. I have to say, I do like your costume. It looks great. Actually, I know someone that looks kind of like that. So you're pulling it off well. Thank you.
Darling, you're very welcome. So as the 2 halflings have just gone straight to the source of truth, back with the rest of the party debating stuff, are you guys doing anything? But
Tiernan's going to walk up because he's seen the girls go to two different people. He's going to walk up to someone he leaves his height and say, "How much for your clothing?"
I need your clothes in your
Oh, yeah.
motorcycle.
He's gonna get shot out in alleys, and now he's asking people to strip down in
Yeah.
lines.
He just looks at you and goes, "Ew, no, just go away. Just yuck. No."
No, seriously, I want to buy your clothes right now.
Well, they're not for sale. I'm sorry.
Where'd you get them from?
Courting the Fae, of course.
And where is that?
And he gives you some directions to another part of the town.
Tiernan immediately turns and starts walking that direction.
2 gold pieces. He's giving you wrong directions because you upset him.
So
I'm just gonna be following Tiernan at this point. We're on a mission to find his mum, so I'm gonna follow him.
Same.
okay. So you guys, the whole
Man,
party
got
doing the
lost in
same
the
thing?
wilderness.
I would like to get detail from this person I'm talking to about what the dress code is specifically.
Okay.
That's kind of why, part of the point was not just to find out where to go, but
Yep.
what is the go?
So they would explain that the dress code is very much it depends on the court that you're wanting to enter, of course. Like, I mean, if you're going to the Chant of Frost, it's of course whites, the very kind of classic cut suit, regardless of gender in many cases, although an elegant dress is acceptable. And they would go on to explain the different sort of styles and approaches, very much depending upon the court that you're wanting to go into.
Yeah.
And there does seem to be a distinct style difference for each court.
Perfect. She's gonna thank him in a very thank you. I'm sorry to have interrupted your night, but thank you. And as I said, it looks. And she just does the most awkward little thumbs up of looks great.
And
I don't have words.
Yeah, and they just sort of give you a funny little look and a sort of a little bow in reply.
Okay. I want to walk off. I'm assuming the party's going to start walking off, and I don't want it to be clear that I'm directly going to them, because part of the point, again, was to sort of because I actually don't want everyone to associate all of us if we go inside with each other, so that if anything goes wrong, that we're not all screwed. Yeah.
Self-preservation.
But also, other people preservation as well. To be a distance away and being able to still do things without.
But mostly so.
So
It's not stupid. What do you want?
So, with this, the party veers one direction. Now
Rowan's
veers
gonna,
off.
it's that sort of I'm gonna take a different path and meet up with them down the street out of sight of the rest of the group, of the line.
You make your way through the city streets. The spell would eventually wear off, of course. Until you find yourselves in front of a very large clothing store. There's a number of mannequins in the window, showing various types of regalia, very similar to what you've seen. The people wearing all sorts of different cuts and fashions and stuff like that. And inside it's quite busy. You can see there are, of course, a number of customers going about doing their thing, looking for new clothes. You can see there's all sorts of different masks which are here as well for people to potentially purchase. You can see one of the main proprietors of the store appears to be a very sort of average-looking human of around 40 with a thinning brown hair, slightly thickened around the midriff, and a very neatly trimmed beard. He's wearing exceptionally well-tailored clothing. A fine silken shirt, a long coat. Fairly kind of simple looking, but the stitching is of silver. It's very, very elegant. He sees you all enter, sort of finishes with one of the customers, and then sort of glides over to where you lot are. Yes, how can I help you today?
We need clothes to enter the courts.
Certainly. Which court are you looking at entering into today?
I don't know.
Hamish, the line, was it a mixture of people or was it like all for one court?
The line was a mixture of people. Yeah.
Do we know anything about the courts, guys, at all?
Only the names.
Only
And-
the names?
Ham, can I ask a question? Are the courts set out from like a left to right, or are they like all kind of within different chambers? Like, what was the configuration of? We don't know. Okay, great.
There was literally an archway, and there was still that shimmering nature. So beyond that,
Then B's gonna say, well, if you were standing at the gate, it would be, or towards the line, it would be, and I would point in the direction, just attempting to try and do something.
And then as you do that, Rowan's going to go, I'm really sorry, but we're from out of town and we were given really weird directions. So that's all we have.
What outfit would get us into the Hymn of Wine?
the man looks to you, Miera, and says, "Ah, yes, the Hymn of Wine. You're probably looking at the slightly more sensual garbs, shall we say?" And he directs you to a part of the shop where it is very much slinky gowns, low-cut tops, tight breeches, very, very thin fabrics. So there's a selection here, and he would talk you through it. The Hymn of Wine, it's quite warm, so of course you don't require coats or anything of that nature. Of course, it's more sort of hedonistic court in comparison to the other ones. The latest fashions, very much long slits up the side for the feminine presenting. Masculine, a lot of people are going for no shirts at the moment and just very well-tailored breeches, nice boots. Just depends on the sort of fashion you're going for. And as you see that, you can also see there's different sections of the store which have got very much obviously themed to each of the four courts.
Grumpfel?
Grumpfel sort of breaks his silence and steps forward to this human and says, is there attire that is neutral to any of the four courts and all of the four courts, or do you specifically need attire for the court? Surely people have to attend different courts for different reasons. Does it require a full costume change, or do you have something that is acceptably neutral for any of the four courts?
Well, I mean, normally for those who aren't Fae themselves, generally they prefer to stick to a specific court. If you're from out of town, each of the courts sort of has a theme and ambiance to it, which people will prefer. They'll go to the thing that suits their mood or their preference. So for generic clothing, I mean,
or is there something that has resemblance and elements from all four rather than plain?
Oh God! He's just like, no. I mean,
no,
never. No, sir. I'm sorry,
okay.
but this is a high fashion establishment.
My apologies for asking a question for someone such as myself is out of town.
Oh no, that's fine. But you've never ever mixed the fashions of the courts.
Okay.
What if we didn't have clothes at all? Could we go to all four?
So if you were nude,
Yes.
no, clothing is required,
Okay.
at least for entry anyway.
Grumpfel starts clutching at his pearls.
Yeah, I mean, look, to be honest, the Hymn of Wine, once you're in there, I'm sure people probably may remove some of their garb, but no, for entry at least, also for the decency of moving through the town, no, clothing is required.
Tiernan by this stage is trying on clothes for the hymn of wine.
But does that sound like somewhere that your mum would go, Tiernan? Would that...
Was there an answer to B's question before we go too deep down that road?
What was B's question? Sorry, Emily.
No, that's okay. I was just attempting to point in the rough direction that my locate object went off to see if there was
Right.
any more specific, like, oh, that sounds like the
which
direction
court
of
is
this
And I was
one.
trying to
most
back
likely
that
to
up.
have
Yeah.
been?
Yeah.
So the man who does also he introduces himself as Bensaw, says oh right, of course you don't understand. So entry into the court, you pass through the gate, and it's at as you pass through the gate, you think of the court you wish to enter into, and that is the court you will appear in.
Oh, so like there's no specific direction. Like when I point that way, that doesn't
It
point
is-
to any of a specific
The
court.
court is a very strange, fey, enchanted space. No one really knows how it works, beyond maybe the fey. So how or
Sounds intriguing.
yeah, no, there's no kind of like point that way. Even the space inside there tends to sort of shift and move in many respects.
I thought having different dress code for each of courts was stupidest thing I ever heard, but turns out that is stupidest thing I ever heard. And Delgrim will kind of sidle up next to Tiernan. Tiernan, you have to think of which court you want to go in when you go inside the gate. Perhaps if you think of the court that your mother is in, that will take us to the court that your mother will be in. Problem going to be, we don't know if we're going to meet the dress rules for that court when we get there. So we're going to have to get one of everything.
I've got an idea. At the end of the day, we know somebody who's in there. And that's Aloysius, yes?
Mhm.
Yes.
He owes us. Doesn't matter how he spins it, he owes us.
You're saying this Kenan saying this out loud?
Oh, yeah, he's saying this
Yep.
out loud.
Like loud or hushed loud?
Loud enough for the group to hear.
Okay, cool.
He's not trying to cover himself. He's just... So he owes us. Doesn't matter how you spin it, he does. So, I say we go to this hymn of wine and see what he has to say. Maybe he's able to point us in the right direction, because otherwise we're shooting blind. Thoughts?
I'm sure he will help us. I don't think we just have to ask, and I'm sure he would be happy to help.
And if he's not, and your mother is in different court, we're still going to need one of every kind of clothing, Tiernan.
Well-
You not listen to what I say.
Maybe they have a hire situation and we don't have to buy it every time. We could just hire it if we find out we need to go to a new court. We could borrow it and then bring it back.
Can't hear you, Kate.
Rowan starts the
Folks,
mime.
Oh, there we go.
I wonder if maybe we could like use I guess you want to go tonight. Never mind. She's like thinking about whether she could use her ring to get herself inside, and then therefore it's cheaper in general for us to do things. And like, are there ways that we can get people in without having to worry about it?
Rowan's looking for cost efficiency? What?
No, Rowan was actually looking at having to buy less generally for the party, given that like
And
you're
they
not
would
going
be
to have
able to
enough money.
dodge.
That like half of the people in this party have no money to buy these clothes in the first place.
Delgrim will approach Bensaw and inquire as just to an average cost per outfit then as well.
I mean, it depends on sort of on what kind of outfit you're considering and the court you're looking at going into. Of course, going to the Chanted Frost, there's a lot more cloaks.
Bensaw, I don't need an explanation of why I want to be wearing stupid clothes all the time. I said, how much an outfit going to cost? I'm only going to need them for one day. They're not the most important thing to me in the world.
Well,
But
sir,
you'll have
What's
to
your
forgive my
returns
friend.
policy?
He can be forthright at times. Please, please enlighten us as to the situations with your clothing.
gives Delgrim a bit of a look and then turns back to Grumpfel. As I was saying, it depends on the court that you're wishing to enter into. For example, if you are going to enter into the Hymn of Wine, where the clothing is more sparse, it will be significantly cheaper than if you were going to go to, say, the Chant of Frost. But it
Right.
also depends on the type of clothing that you're wishing to wear. And he'd then go into a bit of an elaborate breakdown of, oh my God, this and that. And, if it depends on the type of boots that you want to wear and all this sort of stuff. Like, there is very much a varying range,
Okay. So
depending on the court.
you were saying the hymn of wine is a little bit scantier, therefore not as much, therefore perhaps not as much to cost. This is where the trader kicks in Grumpfel. So what would be the cheapest rate for hire of costume for not the hymn of wine? What's the most expensive court to get the minimal appropriate clothing to attend? What is your cost for that?
The most expensive,
Yes, the minimum of the most elaborate court.
the minimum, and firstly, it's not costumes. This is finery. I just want
I
to
apologize.
very
I'm not one for fashion. I'm only relying on theatre that I used to do many, many, many moons ago.
So for simple finery to go into, say, the Chant of Frost, you'd be looking at 25 gold pieces each.
Right.
Or something like the Hymn of Wine, you'd probably be looking at more 10 to 12 gold pieces because there's less fabric, there's
Okay.
less
Nice.
involved.
Would you just bear with me just for a moment? And he turns back to Delgrim and the rest of them. Okay, so we're looking at, depending on what we get for which court, I would say 25 gold per person per outfit to cover all courts. Some, as you heard, are just cheaper, but the cheapest of the most elaborate is 25 gold. So that would be, if we budget for 25 of each of us, for the 4 courts, we're looking at 100 gold pieces to get finery to attend each of the 4 courts if we require. Otherwise, the thought was, Miera, you've used magic to contact Aloysius. Would you be able to contact Tiernan's mother and ask her what court she's in?
No, because I've never met her before.
Tiernan, do you have magical means to reach out and find out what court she's in?
I probably would have I've done that by now, Grumpfel. Had I the means.
Just asking the question before we outlay a large amount of money. That's all.
Well, we
Look,
don't have
I
to
don't-
purchase costumes straight away. Let's just try
No, but
one,
at least
we'll
we've
see
got
what happens.
yeah.
Look, at
We
the
have
end
a
of the
one
day,
in.
none of you are obligated to come with me. My funds aren't vast, but I'm happy to help with anyone who is prepared.
I don't know if
Grumpf-
now's a good time to let you all know. But I can just disguise like 4 of you. Doesn't have to be your faces. I can just change your clothing.
How long have you been sitting on that?
I tried to say it before, and you weren't
tried.
listening.
I'm pretty sure it's been mentioned like 3 or 4
Yeah.
times at this
Yeah.
point. Yep.
And also I guess worth considering for that though, it's only going to last an hour, so you'll have to get in and out. And the rest of us, if we still want to go, we'll have to get clothing. So that's something to consider. The other thing that we could consider is we could just stake out. We don't have to go in. We could just wait for your mum to come out. We could figure out if there's like one exit or whether there's multiple exits. And we could buy pastries and sit there like detectives and wait for her to leave.
Hey Ham, based on the sides of the queue, does it look like there's only one way in and out of this place?
That was the vibe you got, yeah.
With a queue like that, that makes sense that there's only one way in and out. Unless there's like, I don't know, a caterer's entrance or something.
Also worth noting, I can only disguise myself. I don't know why I suggested that.
Ah yes, you're disguising self, are you?
This is the house all over again.
Tiernan is literally looking at you this point, and it occurs to you that he's quite familiar with this spell, considering he's now pale color rather than being blue.
Yep.
Good God. I won D&D.
Right. So, with you guys now needing to ponder about what you need to do for Garb and the like, we are going to go to break. We're going to have a little 5-10 minute break. When we get back, these clowns will have worked out what they're going to do, how much they're willing to spend, whether any of them can cast any spell on anyone else but themselves. And then what court are they going to go to, and who are they going to try and talk to, and what on earth is going to happen once they get in there. So, with that, we'll be back in, I don't know, 5-10 minutes.
I can do it again while we're on camera if you want.
Well, that didn't sound dodgy at all. Hey everyone, welcome back. Hey,
Okay.
as always, you're choosing to spend your time with us, and time is like the most valuable thing that you have. So we really appreciate the fact that you've chosen to spend it with us. So you rock. Thank you. Now, where we left off, the party had discovered that to get into the court, they had to work out which court they were going to go into because there was a very specific dress code. They had found themselves at the clothing establishment, the Courting of the Fae, and were now figuring out basically that by the sounds of things, they were going to try and go into the Hymn of Wine and would require clothing for that. So, based around this, you would be looking at approximately 12 gold, or well, not approximately, you'd be looking at 12 gold pieces each to purchase clothing for the Hymn of Wine, which again, like I said, thematically is very minimalistic, rather seductive sorts of garbs. So with that, and you have a choice as well if you want to wear masks or not. You don't actually have to. It is something that you get described to you because generally it is only the fair folk who wear the masks. So it is entirely up to you. So with that, I'm going to now hand it over to you guys to tell the wonderful people who are watching what each of you is going to actually end up wearing, going into as much or as little description as possible, but also if you're wanting to get masks or not. Who would like to start us off?
I guess I'll go with the Hymn of Wine. Basically, it's going to be the Aladdin look, but in the colors of the Hymn of Wine.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Awesome. Is Tiernan going to get himself a mask?
What's on offer?
Well, basically, there is a plethora of things. So really, it just depends on if you're wanting something.
He'll go the monkey.
The monkey. I'm not entirely sure I understand. There isn't really. Maybe I needed to be more specific.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, because there is no monkey mask as such.
Okay.
What kind of style are you after? Like a full mask, half mask?
Just a half mask.
Okay. All right. You're able to
always
get
a half mask.
You're you're able to get some sort of like it's a stylish sort of human-esque style mask in that respect. Cool. All right. Who's next? And don't forget your 12 gold pieces.
Mm-hmm.
John's in the middle at the bottom of the overlay, so it doesn't make it easy.
That sounds like you want to go next.
Not.
It truly doesn't. Okay, fine. So seeing as how we appear to be going to the Hymn of Wine, Delgrim is going to get the tightest leather pants possibly imaginable.
Okay.
It will look like they are poured on.
Okay.
And will plan to go in topless, revealing his truly, absolutely fucking ripped barreled chest and guns in the process.
Outstanding.
Indeed.
love that.
He will also acquire outfits for the other courts, absolutely convinced that they will likely need to visit at least one of the others
Okay.
to find
So-
Tiernan's mother.
So for each of the other courts, it is 25 gold pieces a pop.
Not a problem at all. Delgrim will also pay for Grumpfel's outfits and offer an apology. You were right. I am sorry. We have to get stupid outfits to go into stupid fake courts.
Yeah, it's not a problem, Deep Brother. It was more an observation from previously being on trade caravans and knowing to dress and address your potential customer. So sometimes everything is a sale and a negotiation, and if we're dressed the right way, we're armed the right way.
You take what you need for your outfit from my cut of is always money that you are holding on to.
All right. So, all right. So make sure you cross off the appropriate money from the appropriate places, please, people. Grumpfel, I'm going to pass over to you now. So, Pro, you're also crossing off the money for him too, aren't you?
Grumpfel will have that money because I'll have it taken out of whatever
I'm
Delgrim's
trying to
cut of is always
Trying
little
to find where I had my notes
So,
for what
Are
money
we buying
had.
one for each
fund
port?
is.
Or
Delgrim is.
okay. Well, yeah, I guess Tiernan would have done the same thing. What were the
Okay.
prices? 12, 25?
So it's 25 for each of the next 3 courts. So it's an additional 75
It's
gold.
$87 87 gold altogether, if it helps anybody.
That's each 87 each.
87 each. Yep. So, Grumpfel, for the Hymn of Why, what is your outfit?
Arseless chaps. No, just kidding.
Grumpfel's feeling lucky.
No,
Yeah.
no. Given that he is absolutely rocking an 11 in strength and a 10 in charisma, he is going to go fairly conservative for each of the outfits that is purchased. Any that require minimal shirting of things, he won't be going shirtless, but it'll be just maybe a very loose sleeveless open vest of some sort. And then
Pirate. I see Grumpfel the pirate vibes.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, that sounds perfect, dude. Like I said, like we don't need to go into huge amounts of detail. I get some people like this sort of thing, some people don't.
Oh, it's look, I could
Yeah.
be very descriptive of what a character of mine could be wearing, but it's Grumpfel, so he's conservative. He's not
Perfect.
No, he's not going to be moving through the crowd. What's up, ladies?
Yeah.
It's going to be. It almost feels like the chaperone, without being rude to anyone.
Yeah.
He will be fairly conservative, but knows that an effort's got to be made.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So that's the 87 gold pieces for him as well.
Yeah.
Who's next?
No breakaway pants, Magic Mike style.
Cool. Perfect. Who's next?
What is there?
Do you know what you want, Cass?
Yep.
You go.
Go, Cass.
Miera will pick the skimpiest outfit that she could find.
Okay.
I
love it.
And with the mask, she either wants one that looks like Larry, or she wants a sassier mask.
Absolutely one that looks like Larry. Piece of cake.
So I have one of those, and I'm not going to buy outfits for other places because I fully intend on taking them from someone else.
Okay. Cool. Excellent. All right. So it's only 12 gold pieces for you then. And Miera is wearing the skimpiest. Is it like a dress or something, or? Yeah,
so like a dress, but it's got like so many cutouts. There's probably like maybe only the tiniest bit of fabric.
Yep.
There. It's mostly cut out.
Yep. This is where I really wish we had people who could do like fan art for all of you guys. Cool. All right.
Didn't have problems reading your gaze.
Yep. B, I'm going to throw to you.
Hello. Hi. How far art thou? I think while B is kind of looking through what there is to offer, there would be like this like someone who has never been in a situation like this and like worn any outfits like this. There's like a giddy kind of excitement to her. And she would land on something that still makes her feel semi-comfortable. And it would be like a deep shade of purple to kind of contrast her tattoos and her skin tone. And it would be a dress that like has the deepest V that like stops just above her belly button. It would be floor length, and then where kind of the the V stops. There's like a slit that almost meets it that goes right up to her hip. She would not be adorning a mask, but you would see that she does cast Disguise Self, but only to put like almost kind of like a makeup around her eyes that makes it almost look like she's wearing a mask.
Cool. Cool. Excellent. And last but by no means least, Rowan.
So Rowan, coming from conservative farm girl stock, is taking slightly the Grumpfel route of like slightly more conservative than incredibly sexy. Is trying to find something brightly colored she's trying to split the difference between, so like there may be a cost split on this ham between what she would need to go to my brain has just dropped. The one that you said was brightly colored and flowing. So it's like the sort of long dress with the slit up, but it's that the floaty sexy, not the tight sexy, if that makes sense. By a difference. And then like bright red or like sunset colors.
Yeah, okay.
Actually, is probably more accurate.
Yeah, cool. Love it. Excellent.
Now, how much do you want that to be?
If it's just the one and you're kind of going halfway, we'll say 18 gold pieces.
Okay.
Who's not wearing a mask? Rowan and B and Delgrim.
You got a disguised one, don't you, B?
Grumpfel's not wearing one.
I'm not disguising with a mask, John.
It's
I'm
just the makeup.
doing makeup.
Oh,
okay.
Cool. Not like Tiernan makeup, like actual tasteful shit.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Makeup from a gun.
With that, you guys are all now decked out, looking fantastic. You return back to the queue that has grown since you were last there, and it probably takes close to 10 minutes before you finally find yourselves standing at the entrance to the court in front of these 4 guards, who the one, the woman in the flowing, very colourful gown advises you to ensure that you are thinking of the court that you wish to visit on this day as you pass through the wall, and then just very simply gestures you inwards. And I'm assuming, since everyone's
Rowan's gonna like try and grab onto whatever loose bit of fabric she can on Tiernan as they go through, just to make sure they're pulled to the same place.
Yep.
Because she doesn't want to.
Yep. Awesome. You all pass through. As you pass through the shimmering veil, the first thing that strikes your senses is the smell. It's very raw, very heated. The scent of youthful energy and unadulterated passion. As your eyes adjust, you see what seems to be a long and wide hall of a deep red, poorly lit, with shadowy alcoves and darkened nooks, in which the barest of movement can be gleaned. Filling the hall are people of all shapes and sizes. Some obviously human, people that you've seen outside, but adorned in those strange masks. Others, smaller and stranger looking, clambering up the sides of chairs and chaise lounges that you can see are strewn throughout the space. The garb here is minimal and provocative. Skin is barely concealed under the lightest of fabrics, and sweat glistens on many of the bodies as they move and sway to a tune that you are only now starting to hear. It throbs in your mind, pulsing, sending your heart racing. Before you appears an elf, shirtless, well-muscled, his skin glistening with sweat. His eyes fall on all of you, appraising, and in one hand he holds a platter with a number of delicate wine glasses. The elf smiles as the masses around him dance and twirl to the music of the body. The elf, eyes twinkling, offers the platter towards you. Welcome, friends, to the hymn of the wine. And I need all of you to make a wisdom saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Is this a
If-
charm effect?
If it is a charm effect, then it is a straight up roll.
So against magic.
Yes, magic. So if you would normally have advantage, it is just a straight roll.
14.
19.
19 for Miera.
14.
That was with disadvantage?
I've got advantage against charmed.
Cool, perfect. Grumpfel?
Natural 20 plus 7 is 27.
At
Wow.
disadvantage? Wow.
Because he's got advantage wisdom against magic.
Yeah, clear. B?
I also, as an elf, have advantage against charm effect, so that is a 21.
Holy shit. Rowan?
Grumpfel and B look at each other like,
14.
14.
I had to roll at disadvantage.
Delgrim?
13.
13.
I also had to roll a disadvantage, but rolled 12 for both.
nice.
Wow. Tiernan?
7, but I'm going to force one of my counter melody crystals.
Okay, so you reach down to it around your wrist and just smash one of the small crystals as you feel this wave of something that goes over the entire party. Cass, were you going to say something or else?
I forgot to add something, so it's actually 21 for
Okay.
Miera.
That's fine. That's fine. All of you save. You all initially get struck with this urge to just take the beverage from this tray and drink it straight away. There is something about it. There is something about the space which is just, I'm here. This is amazing. I just need to indulge. But you're able to all sort of suppress that as you look around now at just this sight before you. What would you like to do?
Miera is going to say, to the elf, thank you very much for welcoming us. We're with the Mystic Delirium. Do you happen to know whereabouts they might be located at the moment? Could you point them out for us?
Can you please make a deception roll for me?
Well, technically, Miera is still kind of part of the Mystic Delirium,
Can
surely.
you make a deception or persuasion roll for me?
So persuasion. 24?
24?
Yeah.
The elf looks at your group. I haven't seen you here before, but I am aware that Aloysius likes to pick up stragglers sometimes, so you'll find him just this way. And he actually turns. If you will follow me, please.
Hamish, before we go on, I just had a quick
Yep.
question for you, mate.
Yep.
Regarding the scales of the dragon,
Uh-huh.
how long did it? Did we have to pick the form once per day at the start of the day?
At dawn.
At dawn. Okay,
Mhm.
just double checking.
So you follow this elf through this maze of bodies, and one of the things that quickly becomes apparent is that, like, you look up and you don't see like a roof or a top. There's no globe that we saw outside. It just sort of vanishes into darkness. And there are these thick, lush red curtains sort of like separating off spaces. And again, when you look, they sort of go up and just sort of vanish into the darkness. You don't see walls. You see raised areas, like there's sort of like raised daises on the floor where there might be a collection of chairs and where you can see individuals sitting, talking, drinking, doing other things as well. Occasionally you'll hear like the laughter of people coming from like in the darkened corners, giggling and all sorts of noises as you get led through this place, which you very quickly lose all sense of direction. There is nothing about this which makes any sense. Probably about 6 or 7 minutes of moving through this space, following this elf. He pulls aside a large curtain, and behind it you can see there is another one of these sort of raised areas upon which there is this pile of cushions. You can see a couple of very, very low tables covered with platters with foods of all sorts of descriptions. You can see meats and fruits and things that you don't even recognize. You can see carafes of different types of you're not even sure what, whether it's water, whether it's alcohol, glasses all over the place. On the cushions, lazing about, laughing and chatting, you can see all of the members that you recall from all that time back in Harrow of the Mystic Delirium. They are dressed appropriately for the Hymn of Wine, somewhat provocatively. You can see Lady Ophelia, that very tall, statuesque woman who was wearing a very high-necked black dress last time, is now wearing a very almost not there seductive dress of light colors. Stark contrast to what you'd seen her before. You can see the dwarves and the halflings that made up this group. And in the middle, lounging back with a glass in one hand, his still somewhat silly blue floppy hat on, Aloysius. Shirtless this time. Pair of very simple, sort of loose leggings on, laughing at something. He has his arm around a halfling who is dressed it's surprisingly similar to Miera. And you can see Miera, your friend Bex. She's also there, kind of almost like sort of snuggled up to Aloysius. But when the curtain gets pulled back and they see you, she lets out a squeal. The glass goes flying, and you see one of the other members of the Delirium kind of lunge to catch it before it can kind of hit the ground or anything like that. And she just leaps up, races towards you, and literally launches herself off the edge of this raised platform that the Delirium is sitting on. And I would like you to please make a strength saving throw for me, Miera.
11.
11.
Yeah.
You barely manage to keep your feet, and with what you're wearing, your modesty, as she almost collects you in this biggest of hugs. Her face buried into your shoulder, and you can feel her whole body just like sobbing. You can feel the tears on your shoulder. She's just like, oh my God, Miera, it's so good to see you. God, I've missed you so much.
But, I mean, I've missed you too, but you never met, you never sent me any messages or anything, and I didn't know what had happened to you. This is the second time you've run off. The second time.
I know, and I'm sorry, but just so much has been happening, and there's so much to tell you, and I wanted to, but we had things that we had to do. But you're here now, right? And you're not going. You're here. This is actually you. And she sort of like takes a step back, and like sort of examines you for a minute. Like you're actually. And she puts her hands on either side of your face. It's actually you, Miera, isn't it? This isn't some kind of weird dream or anything, is it? This is you, isn't it?
I'll pinch her arm.
She's like, and she just rests her forehead against yours. God, I've missed you so much.
I missed you too. There's been a lot of stuff happening, and I'm happy to see you, and I just know that not everyone here is going to be happy to see everyone else.
And with that said, what is the rest of the party doing?
Grumpfel is going to grab Delgrim by the upper arm, by the bicep, and just into
Which
his
is
ear,
so taut currently.
and just drag him off into a corner. No, I mean for a conversation. Grumpfel is going to just grab him and in undercommon go, Delgrim, old chap, here's probably not the best of arenas for a mano a mano fisticuffs with Aloysius. Bide your time. His comeuppance will is in the near future, but considering we're in a Fey court, perhaps not the best arena to knock down and drag out with him, old chap.
And in undercommon, Delgrim will respond, well, I need you to know, jolly good Pip, just how much I want to slap that motherfucker right in the face.
Oh, look, yes, absolutely. He is indeed the south end of a northbound Jersey cow, one belonging to an uncle of mine in ill health. Of course, and yes, 100%. I'm there with you. But that being said, the surroundings not quite tickety-boo for such a tete-a-tete.
Look, I take your point, and as I said, you were right about the last little altercation we had, but I can't make any promises given the opportunity that I won't slap that motherfucker right in the face.
So,
And then back in common, then Delgrim will kind of force his attention off of Aloysius, who has just been staring absolute daggers at this point, over to Bex and kind of nod in Bex's direction, who I assume isn't paying attention to him at all.
So, Aloysius stands up. He goes, hey, you made it! I knew you guys would. I had absolutely all the faith in the world that you would finally get out of there and we'd finally meet somewhere else. God, pull up a cushion, grab a chair, have a seat. Let's have a talk. Let's have a drink. Let's eat some food. Let's have some fun.
Aw, how do you stay mad at this guy?
Very easily.
Vera's gonna take Bex's arm and cast a wary glance at Delgrim and Grumpfel and Tiernan, and then we'll go and sit down.
Rowan's going to pull B aside and explain who these guys are, why everyone's
I
acting
know who
like
they
they're
are.
gonna... No.
I know who they are.
Why everyone's acting like they're going to punch on. Like, just the quick, like, just a heads up, this is what's happened previously. Oh my gosh. Like,
This is what you missed on Glee.
this is what you missed.
okay.
Yeah.
Does
you
does
would-
does
in
B have
response-
undercommon? Does B have
No.
undercommon, and how close was she standing to Delgrim and Grumpfel?
No, she doesn't.
No?
But
Okay.
what you would get in return, Rowan, is I know who they are. They used to frequent the Calamity Club.
Yeah.
They're super, super nice. And apparently, like, you know, my friend Celis, real big crush on Aloysius. So he can't be that bad.
Yeah, to which is like, well, Prometheus. It's like, well, Delgrim wants to
Prometheus.
kick his ass. Sorry, it's because certain people have their actual names on their call window things.
We all do. We all
know.
do.
Literally all of
Everyone
us do.
That
does.
is not true.
Okay,
Neither
okay.
Cass nor
Fine.
Grumpfel do. Anyway, yes, and they want to like punch me in the face because of this thing that happened that I think you've been looped in on. But anyway, and she like just does the quick backstory of Harrow and the explosion.
So whilst you're off to the side, sort of doing that, what's everybody else doing? Aloysius is like, come and join us. Come and sit down.
Tiernan's going
What's
to
to
go
catch
over
up
and
on?
it's basically sit down, as close as he can to Aloysius, in fact. He goes, well, Aloysius, dear friend, perhaps you could help us.
Sure. I mean, you want to cut straight to business. Is this what I'm hearing?
Well, it's more of a sensitive nature, more than anything else.
Sure. I mean, if you'd like to, I mean, sure. Like, have a drink, have something to eat first, Tiernan. I mean, sit back, relax. I mean, we've got lots to catch up on. Surely, I don't know what you've been doing. How have things been going? I can see Delgrim obviously is just as wound up as he's always been. He's looking a little bit tense over there. Delgrim, come over, sit down, pull up a cushion. Miera, you go with Bex, and Bex goes like back over beside Aloysius.
Yes, my intention is to sit as, you know, in between Aloysius and the rest of the party as much as I can as well, to kind of create a bit of a barrier.
Delgrim will sit directly opposite Aloysius.
Okay,
Tiernan's
so
kind of sitting pretty close to him.
So what I'm seeing is just like sort of like a half circle of like where the delirium was. And like there's just a bunch of pillows, like you see some of them are just like chucking pillows out for you guys to sit on. So like Delgrim and Tiernan sort of sit themselves like directly in front of where Aloysius is, while Rowan and B are kind of having this conversation. Bex goes and sits, like curls up beside Aloysius again. He very easily just sort of slips his arm back over her shoulder. So Miera, if you're sitting with him, you would be facing the rest of the party.
Can I roll an insight check
Yes.
on Bex's attitude towards Aloysius real quick, specifically to see if he's charmed her?
I mean, you make an insight check, sure.
It's 12, 13.
I mean, she is acting like someone who, you know, is amongst good friends. Maybe there's a little bit more there. Who knows? But yeah, she doesn't seem like she seems super comfortable and content. She seems like you can see there's tear stains on her face as well. And she is not letting go of Miera. She's just got one of your hands tightly in hers.
Yeah.
As you guys sit down.
I will be grabbing a wine glass, or if there's food on the table, I will grab some just
Yep.
to be, hospitable.
Yep. Sorry, just quickly, Delgrim and Grumpfel, what are you guys doing? And also, B and Rowan, once you guys have sort of had your quick info dump, what are you guys doing?
I think for B, like, she's received the context of the situation. She's info dumped a little bit, and she is not going to be like standoffish. She's gonna kind of blend, I guess. So, and also, I guess, try to counter any awkward tension by like just sitting somewhere neutral, and acting as normal as possible, as B can act.
For sure. Perfect.
Sorry,
Rowan,
go.
Rowan's gonna like sit down amongst people, so even if it's between members of the delirium, doesn't really matter.
Yep.
So that it looks like she's partaking of food and beverage, but she is not consuming anything.
Yep, cool. Yep, cool. Awesome. Delgrim?
Delgrim will, just take a seat, pillowless. He'll actively remove the pillow that's offered and sit on whatever the floor is,
Okay.
directly in front of Aloysius. He will use Slayer's Prey on Aloysius, but it's not a spell as such. There's no obvious kind of indication that that is the case.
Yeah, for sure.
But it
For
will
sure.
be active. And he'll say, it is interesting you say you're sure that we arrive here, considering how volatile the situation is in the place where Miera and Rowan's family live, where our friends in Greenfield live after you exited Harrow.
Oh, I had all the confidence in the world that you would be able to get yourselves out of that situation. That's why we didn't hang around. I had my business that I had to deal with. I knew you'd be able to handle the business that you had to deal with. I knew we'd meet up again at some stage. Here we are. Fate.
I only hope our friends and family are as capable of dealing with this business.
Oh, I'm sure they'll be fine. I'm sure they'll be fine. And look, I mean, if they're not, maybe there's things that we can do to help. I don't know. But I mean, look, getting very serious very quickly with all of this. Like, I mean, what interesting and exciting things have you been up to? Like, you've got a new friend here. It's haven't met them before, obviously. I mean, you're all here. You're all in one piece. This is fantastic. Tiernan's obviously got questions. I can see him kind of chomping at the bit to ask stuff.
Yes, I do. But funny you should mention business because your actions did actually upset our business.
Oh, what? Okay. Well, I mean, what business was that? I mean, is this like, are you wanting an apology? Are you wanting something? I mean,
Well, a favor of yours couldn't hurt.
favor.
It's a simple favor.
Sure. I mean, I don't see why not.
I'm looking for somebody who is potentially a resident of one of these courts. Could you assist in that matter?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, depends on the court. I mean, I don't spend time in many of the other courts. If they're here in the hymn, then absolutely we can probably help. But if they're outside, I might be able to connect you with someone who can help in some fashion.
Any assistance would be greatly appreciated.
Easy. Easiest thing in the world. Absolutely. Anything for you all.
I'm looking for a shard folk.
Why? Someone like yourself.
Yes. Her name is Kian Dapanon.
Okay. I mean, name doesn't ring any bells to me. He turns to the rest of the delirium. Anybody else heard of this individual? And there's sort of a murmur goes through the group, and there's sort of a lot of shaking of their heads. He turns back to you and goes, "Look, honestly, Tiernan, we don't really get shard folk through here. They tend to sort of stay on the other side, either to the other side of the Scimitar Mountains, or they're all the way down south in Cathar Baal when it's cutting through the Wayfarer Plains." So
I have it on very good authority. They are within one of the courts.
right. Well, as far as I know, they're not here, and we've had a pretty good take. Like, are they visiting like you? Have you got more information that you can give me to work with?
Do I know where, if we have entered this building, do I know where we are in relation to where my ping went off?
The spell would have worn off some time ago.
Just even from like a memory standpoint.
Even from when you pass through the barrier, it
Yeah,
would have
okay,
been
that makes sense.
somewhat disorientating. Yeah, so yeah.
So instead, B, we'll just say, well, when we were standing outside of the gates, it was like this way.
Well, interesting. So the way that the courts work is actually, I'm not 100% sure of how it works. It's like it's some sort of interdimensional pocket in some respects. So all of the courts exist in the same place, but also simultaneously not in the same place.
That's fine. You
So-
just asked if Tiernan had any additional information, and I was just trying to be
No,
helpful.
and that's great, and that's exactly the sort of thing that we're after. But beyond that, I mean, I can actually Prax, and the two little pixies that you recall that were members of the Delirium sort of come fluttering over. And Aloysius says, can you two just maybe do a little bit of a fly around, see if you can maybe ask some questions about this? Was it Kian? Does she look? Description would be great. I mean, she'll be blue like you because, of course, Shardfolk. But
Well, Shardfolk, we tend to stand out a lot.
well, but you see, Tina, that's part of the problem. And he kind of like gestures outwards, and as you look out into sort of the people that are and think about the people here, this is a place filled with unusual looking individuals. Whether it's because they're masked, whether it's because they are not even people, the different types of fae. You have seen others with weird, strangely colored skin. They would stand out a little bit more potentially, but this is also an environment where they may not stand out very much at all. This is a collection of unique individuals.
Well, she's older than myself. Longer hair than mine. Very dark. And tall, elven, Shardfolk.
Interesting. Prax, see what you can find out. And both of them give little nods, and they both go scooting out.
Ham, while this is happening, now that we are inside one of the courts, I am going to use my last second level spell slot to cast Locate Object again. And be focusing on the drawing of the ring that I initially got. To attempt to discern whether is she inside this court? Like, is she nearby? Where are we?
I just do want to point out, you can. Tiernan does still have his pistol on his hip. And,
yeah, so I guess my eyes would then kind of glance at that, think about the ring, think about kind of all of the different things I've been offered as some sort of an assistance, and try to narrow in on whether I can find his mother.
You call forth the magic once again, and this time nothing, not even the faintest hint of anything at all.
I wouldn't say anything, but while I guess Tiernan's speaking, I would look over at Tiernan and attempt to kind of give a little shake of the head. No context, just like a little.
You kind of need to get his attention. He's sort of focused on it.
Oh yeah, and that's fine. Like, it's not an attention-seeking thing. It's just like if at any point you look away, you just get like a little shake of the head.
Okay.
Okay. So, again, these individuals are partaking in food and drink. Bex turns to you, Miera, and says, so what else, like what have you all been up to? Like, Aloysius told me that you sent him some kind of magical message the other day. I didn't know you could do that. I can't do that. How did you learn how to do that?
Well, I thought you could do that. That's why I was upset that you hadn't contacted me.
No, I haven't been able to do that. I didn't even know it was something that you could do.
Yeah, I just think about the person that I want to talk to really hard, and then I tell them what I want. But I have to keep it short because I feel like they only get like a certain part of the message, so I keep it really short. But they can respond to me. It's different to like talking in my mind to you.
But why didn't you message me then?
I did.
Did you? I'm sorry if I've brain failed.
I did. I did message her before.
Why didn't you message me more?
Um, because I had a lot of stuff happening, I guess, as well. And like we have a gem mine now. And um, uh, um, oh, Lord Ethelway.
Yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
met him when we were in Delian's Rest. He was really
yes,
nice.
he is really nice. He gave me a ring. And that
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. No, but he was with the Dutch. Yeah, he gave you a ring. No, hold on, Miera, explain this to me. That doesn't sound. There's something weird going on here. What do you mean he gave you a ring?
Not that one.
Unless.
I'll hold my hand down, and it is on the left hand.
Her eyes go wide, and she goes, "No, what? No, Miera,
Yes.
what happened?"
Well, we started talking about the Dawn Dreamers and we had a nice chat and then I can't keep it. She can't keep it up for much longer and starts laughing. And then she said, "No, my brain was going to explode, so he gave me the ring to stop it from like exploding and me dying. And so I put it on and I tell everyone that I'm engaged to Lord Ethelway and my name is Lady Ethelway, but it's not really real."
Miera, that's insane. You're going to get in so much trouble for doing that. I mean, I'm glad your brain's not going to explode, but oh my God, like, I just can't believe that this is what's. And he was telling me about the Dawn Dreamers and everything
Yes.
that's going on with that. And so, are you actually helping now?
Yes, we're trying to, and we're gonna go to, well, we're gonna try and get into the Empire. She'll whisper that so that no one else can hear potentially.
Yeah.
And then but we have to get past spellhounds, and we don't know how to do that yet. And so I was hoping maybe someone like Aloysius might be able to help potentially. But there's been a lot happening, and I guess everyone's a little bit upset still because of the whole fireball accident. So probably we'll have to talk about that at some stage. But other than that, I mean, it's taken us a while to get here because there's been so much stuff happening.
There has been so much stuff happening. Oh my God. As that conversation sort of continues, we go back to the rest of the party. I just want to touch base with Grumpfel and Rowan. If there's anything that either of you two are wanting to do with this, or for you sort of observing the interactions.
Observing and eavesdropping on any other interesting Mystic Delirium conversations that are happening.
Make a perception check for me then, please, Rowan. Bless you.
19 plus something. 19 plus 1. 20.
Amazing. Cool.
I have too many characters with different perception numbers. So it's not. Yeah. That's yeah.
They all appear to be pretty focused on the conversations that are going on between the party and Aloysius and Bex and stuff. There's no one else is sort of having side conversations. You don't pick up on anything sort of untoward. Grumpfel, anything from you, sir?
Just on the conversation with Delgrim about caution being the better path. Looking around, do many people, though skimpy dress code, wearing any sort of armament, weapons, that sort of thing?
You can see amongst some of the cushions and stuff like that, the hilts of a couple of weapons, but they seem to be kind of like stowed off to the side more than anything else. When you did see people coming through here, you did see some people with weapons as well. A lot of it seemed to be probably more ornamental or showy than anything else. But it was also the exception rather than the rule.
Right. The other one is, and probably thinking of it now, probably should have been asked earlier. Tiernan's alter self to hide the shard folk blue sheen. When we stepped through the gateway to get to the hem of wine, did it disappear? Is he blue, or is he still like it doesn't? The stepping through that gateway didn't stop any sort of magics or anything like that.
How long does this guy's self last for?
Only an hour. I presume that when I walked into the court, it would have faded by that time. It
Yeah,
hadn't
it would have
renewed
faded
it.
ages ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he only started it just as he walked into town. Yes,
Yeah, but we
that's
still went
true.
shopping and did all
Yeah,
the...
you've been shopping and walking through a big city and stuff like that, so yeah.
So another hour, because he would have maintained it until he got into the court.
Sure.
All right, so one extra slot
Minimum.
done.
Yeah.
All right. So I just wanted
So
to
he is
check.
blue. He is blue in the court.
Okay. I dare say the lighting in here leaves it a little ambiguous.
It is. Like
And he's
it's
also got a half
very
mask.
it's very mood lighty in here. But yeah. So as you sit around, for those of you who sample the food or the wine or the beverages, it is all exceptional. The fruit is perfectly ripe. The meat is nice and tender. The wine seems to be exactly what you want, whether it's a drier wine, whether it's a sweeter wine. It seems to match what it is that you desire.
Tiernan's eating the food, but he's not touching the wine.
I'm the opposite. I'm touching the wine and not eating the food.
The wine is very strong. And after like a glass, you would feel it going to your head fairly quickly.
Excellent.
Cool. Amazing.
Rowan's already said she's not eating it or drinking anything, so...
So, Aloysius I mean, tell me, what have you been up to? What's been going on? I'm aware of a few bits and pieces. I know that you've met my good Lord Esselway, and that it sounds like you're going to be helping us out in our little task around basically saving the world. It's great to have you on board.
Well, yes, I guess. Well, I won't bore you with all our adventures. We slayed and saved a dragon. Has probably been the highest achievement, but I don't believe. I have a suspicion that Kian may not be in this court. So I was wondering if you could offer some assistance with the other courts and possibly locating Kian within them.
I mean, I can point you towards people who may know if your mother is one of the other courts. Certainly, if we discover that she's not here, I tend to avoid going into the other courts a little bit, personally. But I mean,
Oh, any particular reason why?
oh, yes, reputational, flavor-wise, the Chant of Frost is absolutely, totally not a place that I enjoy at all. The Opera of Flowers is quite nice. But you know, you have interactions with people, you make friends, you make more than friends, you break up with more than friends. You know what life is like sometimes. But I'm more than happy to do whatever I can to help.
Okay.
If we work out what court your mother is in or whatever it is that's going on, I'll definitely see what I can do to help out in regards to finding her, or you know, I don't know. Is she here because she wants to be? Is she here because she doesn't want to be? I don't know. Do you know? Where would she be here?
I haven't the foggiest, to be
Right.
perfectly honest. But just a little curious, regarding your comment regarding Lord Esselway. How are you assisting in that endeavor?
You seem to be hiding out in this place. Does not look very productive to me.
Because what he told us was two distinct locations, and they're not here.
True. They're not here. But I mean, like, with the work that I do for him, sometimes you've just got to have a bit of a break. Sometimes you've just got to have a little bit of a holiday. That's simply what we're doing. We're having a bit of a break. We're having a bit of a holiday. Not too long, we'll be heading off down south to see what else we can discover down there. But sometimes you've just got to take a rest, take a load off.
And what work is it that you do? And Tiernan leans back on whatever he's leaning on, whatever he's sitting at, and grabs one of the wine glasses. Doesn't actually drink it though; just holds on to it.
Oh well, I mean, part of what I help Lord Esselway and the Dawn Dreamers do is find those of us who use the arcane, those of us who have had a dalliance with the dreams, shall we say. Just like your friend Miera. And Bex, here of course. So I'm conscious that there are some potential people who may be able to assist the Dawn Dreamers to the south. So next job after here is to go down there and have a chat with them. Remember Athalas, similar situation. We go around the country, we find those people who we want to bring into the fold, who need to help and be protected, to join the Dawn Dreamers, and to just bring about the betterment of this world.
On the topic of betterment, perhaps there is something else you could assist with then. After we have addressed the matter of finding the person Tiernan is looking for, we will require...
Kian, her name's Kian Delgrim.
Thank you. I told you I forget it in several minutes. I was very open about this. We'll require some kind of ship to the north to do actual work for Islway.
To the north. Whereabouts to the north? Oh, hold on. Miera was saying something about... Oh, yeah. Sorry. And he's a bit exaggerating. The Empire. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Look, there's not many ships which go up that way. But again, I might be able to help you out there. Let me just have a think. And he ponders for a moment, whilst the DM goes to grab some extra notes.
Is that the god that exists within the world, or
A separate entity?
It's really weird because the floor under B opens up and she just gets absolutely fucking destroyed. Absolutely wrecked.
Thea also mysteriously disintegrates in every universe.
who the fuck is
The
Thea?
cult.
Yeah.
So did you hear that little nugget, Miera? Bex uses the arcane too, apparently. Was that always obvious? Okay, well I didn't know that.
Yes, Tiernan, that is part of the Dawn Dreamers' whole deal.
Got that much.
So he goes, look, I think I know of at least one who may head north. And funnily enough, right here in the hymn, name's Gilly Glittervale.
Are they reliable?
Reliable? 100% absolutely can guarantee maybe.
What is
But-
nature of your relationship with them?
With Gilly?
Mm.
Oh, I mean, we've talked a few times, we've had a few drinks together, we've hung out a little bit.
Have you set any of their rulers on fire?
Any of it? No, she's Fae. She's part of the court. I'm not going to set anything on fire here. Gosh, that would be a bit of a dumb thing to do.
Indeed.
But no, she's wonderful. Absolutely 100% recommend her as a great captain. I'm pretty sure she goes north. Or I feel like she's the sort of person you could probably convince to go north. There may be a few others. I mean, I would suggest maybe go to the Oar and Barnacle or whatever that place is called. They're down by the docks. They might be aware of any other sort of captains that might head north, but I mean, not many do because of all of the blockades from the Empire, and then you've got the whole situation with the Fractured Isles or all of that sort of stuff. It's not a fun or easy place to get to, at least from this side of Beldorn.
I think probably halfway through what Aloysius is saying there, Delgrim will get up, leave, and start asking randos if they know where he can find Gilly Glittervale.
He's sort of partway through. He's like, and sort of just keeps saying the rest of what he was saying to Tiernan.
If he does that, he's probably gone to look for Gilly.
Probably. I just hope he's not going to get himself in trouble here. It's absolutely not the place to try and do any kind of like being too pushy or aggressive or anything like that, especially if you're not Fae. And it's probably a great way to end up very, very dead, to be honest. Anyway, and I do want to swing back around to the rest of the party to see if there's anything that anybody was wanting to do while these conversations are going on.
Grumpfel will slip away and find Delgrim before he goes too far. Wanders too far.
Yep.
And goes too far.
Yep. Cool. Rowan? No. B?
I am just sticking with Tiernan at this point. This is mostly about him in B's eyes at the moment.
Cool. Awesome.
Tiernan's largely just going to wait to see what the two pixies come back with, really.
Cool. Awesome. And what about Miera?
Miera's going to see how many of the tarot cards that she might still have hold of. Because there was the one that depicted Aloysius, and I wanted to show him that. So I wanted to show him that, and then I also wanted to see if he knew anything about avoiding spell hands or hiding from them, hiding magic if possible, or if he knew of anyone that could help with that.
Okay, cool. All right. So you were the one who had that particular card that had his image on it? Have you got the description of the card there?
I do. I do have the description. So it depicted Satyr dressed as a fool, obviously Aloysius, with fairies dancing around him, standing on a dock at twilight. And there's a black space in the sky where the moon should be, and there are stars surrounding it. And in one corner, there are images of the six of us. Mm-hmm. Sorry, B. And I think 6 of us was B there at that time. Yeah. You were included. Okay. So 6 party members, and they're really small and hard to see the detail, but you can see that the images are pointing and laughing at him.
And there was nothing else on that card.
I mean, that's all the description I have.
Let me just double check that. Yep, cool. Awesome. Okay. You pull the card out and show it to him. And he frowns a little bit at it and goes, "Oh God, I would never wear anything that ridiculous. Why would anyone? Where did you get that from? That's very strange."
We found them in the wilds.
Oh God, back in Dalian's Rest?
Yeah.
Just like lying around? That seems stranger.
We went there and then we had a chat with, what was her name? I can't remember her name now. Who was it? I can't remember her name. Yeah,
Fortune teller.
The fortune teller lady with the bowl. She had a bowl.
Okay, don't know who you're talking about, but I'll just nod and pretend. Very well.
I don't know. I can't remember what her name was, but it was in the wilds.
Aurelia.
Norelia, that's it.
Oh, right, Norelia. Never heard of her. But anyway, keep going.
Hmm.
Interesting
This is-
card.
Hmm. All right. Well, I thought you might have a little more insight because you're into the woo stuff. I don't know. I just thought maybe you'd know.
The woo stuff. Well, look, I mean, I am sometimes, but no, this card doesn't mean anything. As for all your questions about like spellhounds and hiding from magic and stuff like that, I'm
Not hiding from magic, hiding my magic.
hiding your magic.
Mm.
I mean, the generally the best way to hide one's magic is to just simply not use it, and most people won't notice. You can pass as just any old person
Yeah,
wandering the
but
streets.
I've been told that spellhounds can like smell it or something, even if you don't use it. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but I know that it's going to be difficult to get across with the type of magic I have, arcanes.
Right. I mean, honestly, I've never been like to the Empire or Northern Paldon, or I've stayed away from that as much as possible. So I don't really know anything about. I mean, I've heard some of the stories and stuff, but
Do
sorry,
you
Mara,
know? Do you know anyone smart and powerful?
smart and I mean, I would have
Yeah.
said Lord Isselway if anyone was going to know anything, it would be him. But I'm assuming he probably was just as ignorant as I am.
Hmm.
I mean, honestly, like it takes an awful lot to hide someone's magic. If they can smell it, I don't know, maybe if you could find something that you could smear on yourself that was particularly repugnant or something, maybe that would be effective. I would depend
Maybe
on how
more of something if I could hide in something.
hide in something.
Yeah.
Like what, like a barrel or something like
No,
that?
it has to be small enough that I could be carried. So I would have to be able to get into something small and hide in it.
I mean, I know that there's spells and magic which can reduce someone's size. I mean, someone could make you small and put you inside something, I suppose, but you would have to find someone who can cast that kind of magic.
You know anyone like that?
Not personally, no. What about, I mean, your friends? You've got a collection of talented
I don't think,
individuals here.
well, I'm not trying to be rude, but I think I would have asked them already before I traveled all this way to ask you. So I was just wondering if you had any other contacts, anyone in the city that you might know of that could help us.
I mean, I can put some feelers out, but I mean, once again, like people who use magic, they're not very common. I mean, you could try one of the temples around here. Maybe they would be of some sort of use, or there might be some kind of divine magic. There's the Gallery of Illumination and the Tree of Life and Loss. You could try one of those too, and there could be people there who may be able to help. I'm sorry. I mean, the magic that I use is innately from within me, and it's not something that I don't know. Sometimes even, I mean, you know what it's like. Sometimes
Yeah.
even that control can be difficult. If you maybe had someone who was more knowledgeable or more studied around spells and stuff, maybe they would be aware of some kind of ability or something that they could use.
Okay.
I'm really sorry, Mary. I wish there was something else that I could do, and I mean, I'll certainly I'll
If
have
you think
think
of anything, let us
Oh, absolutely.
know. That would be very
100%.
helpful.
Absolutely.
Because yeah, I think we're gonna need some help doing what we need to do. But yeah, have a think. Let me know if you have any ideas. Did you hear we have a gem mine now?
Gem mine, and the conversation begins to go down that road as we swing back around to Delgrim and Grumpfel go cavorting as the two of you head off into the crowd. You ask a few people as you start to make your way through the throng of bodies that are here. Getting all sorts of interesting looks and appraisals from the Fae and the non-Fae until you ask, you encounter one small initially, when you tap them on the shoulder, you think that they're a halfling. When they turn around, their features are a lot more. They're almost elven, very strange and unusual. And they advise you that yes, they know of a Gilly, and they point you. They say often she's off in that direction. She has a little corner that she often likes to frequent. Pointing you off in that direction, you make your way towards where you've been told, and you can see a darkened corner, and there is a small round table, and you can hear the laughter, and you can hear the sound of coins as they skitter across a surface. And you can see around the table about 5 individuals. 4 are male, 1 is female, and stands out. Fairly slender, with a mop of leafy hair and green skin. She's wearing a coat, which seems slightly out of place for the hem. It's covered in all kinds of buckles and pins and badges. And underneath it, she has a very low-cut blouse. She's got a silken red scarf around her neck. And it looks like she's wearing almost like a tartan kilt. And she's got some dice in her hand. And you can see one of the other people have also got some dice, and they appear to be playing some kind of game.
Okay. I think Delgrim would watch the game for a little bit to begin with, just to get a sense of the rules and to get a sense of anyone at the table is cheating.
Yeah. Hard same.
Both of you make a perception check for me, please.
I rolled a 2, which makes it a 6.
Amazing. Grumpfel?
19 on the dice makes 26.
Okay. Grumpfel,
Grumpfel goes full Rain Man.
Yeah. Delgrim, you get distracted as an individual passes behind you, and you feel like a finger trailed across your shoulders. And as you turn, you see a glimpse of a lot of bare skin, very little fabric, as some individual just passes off into the crowd. That's all you kind of catch a glimpse of, very distracted. Grumpfel, you can see that this appears to be some kind of scoring game around how
This whole place seems to be a scoring game.
Around how the dice are rolled. Fairly kind of simple. What would you guys like to do?
Is it I will let Delgrim take the lead on what he was looking for.
Is there room for 2 more players of this game?
People kind of glance over at you, and it looks like it's a there's 1 more set of dice. And the woman glances up and gives you a smile, and she goes, "Ha, fish chair! Pull up a seat. We'll have a little game of knucklehead."
Knucklehead, you explain, please. I'm familiar with this game. I am not from these parts. Explain game for me if you don't mind.
Tis an easy game. You get 3 dice to start off with. Basically, you have to roll the 3 dice. If there's a pair, so basically the whole idea for this game is you want to try and get the highest score you possibly can. So you get to sometimes re-roll dice. If you roll a pair, so for example, if you roll 3 dice and 2 of those dice come up with a 2, you can re-roll those dice, but you have to re-roll both of them. If you roll 3 dice and all 3 numbers are the same, you can also re-roll all 3. So if you roll 3 ones, you can re-roll all of them, because 3 ones is a shite score. Basically, the whole idea is to just get as high a roll as possible. Now, on the re-roll, If it's another double on any of the dice, then that double is discarded. Same with triples. Make sense?
Delgrim is visibly and obviously confused. My friend Grumpfel will play. I'm sure he will very much enjoy. Perhaps we can have discussion while the game is on the way.
Certainly. You fine folk, have you got some money or something of value that you can bet on this? Because, of course, it's all about the betting.
Yes. Permit an old man to sit down.
Pull up a pew. Or in this case, there are no pews. Pull up a cushion. Sit on the floor. Do what you want. I don't really care. So to clarify the rules, you get to roll 3 dice. You can keep any of those dice that you want. So if you roll 3 sixes, that's the absolute best score that you can possibly get.
Yeah, it's 3 dice Yahtzee, right?
Kind of, yeah. The thing is, if you roll 3 dice and you roll doubles or triples, if you re-roll those dice, if you get doubles or triples again, the doubles are discarded.
A little bit of risk. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah, it's great.
Pretty straightforward. All right. So, who wants to have a play?
Oh,
I,
go for it, my friend.
okay, I'll give it a try. I have not played this particular dice game before that I can recall.
All right.
Sure,
How much are you going to bet?
Oh,
Put down some money, old man.
from what we were watching before, what were the stakes tending to be, Hamish?
The last pile that you saw in the middle was a platinum coin, a gold coin, and a button.
Okay. Did we watch more than one hand? Is it like poker where you have big blind, small blind, any of that sort of stuff, or any sort of anti
just the one. Delgrim will probably just hold up one finger, which Grumpfel can easily interpret as just one gem that is currently on his person. Would be a good idea to start with.
Grumpfel will totally misread that and put down 1 gold coin.
All right, so you put down a gold coin. This individual, this woman, puts down on it a small brass buckle. And there's a third individual who's actually a sprite, who puts a small stick in the middle. And you can see the sprite's got 2 friends because they're too small to roll the dice themselves, so they've got to hold a dice each. All right, the woman says, with basically the way it goes is you go 1, 2, 3, knucklehead, and you roll your dice, and we have a look at that result first. Are you ready?
Oh, I guess so, yes.
Outstanding. 1, 2, 3, knuckleheads. And the dice go skittering across the table.
You want me to roll 3d6 here?
Roll 3d6. What did you roll?
A 6, a 4, and a 1 for a total of 11.
Okay. So you are, because you've got no doubles or triples, you are allowed to re-roll one of those. Now, I rolled a 5, a 6, and a 1. So you can see this one pick up the 1.
Yep.
And roll it. Now, remember, if you re-roll that dice and you end up with any doubles, the doubles get discarded. So I rolled a 1, a 5, and a 6. If I roll a 5 or a 6, I have to throw away the 5 and that double. Make sense?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So you see this one, she picks up 1, she goes, oh, a 1, 5, and a 6. That's a shite roll. I'm going to re-roll the 1. This could absolutely fuck me. Here we go.
Does it have to be like is this insinuation that it you re-roll altogether or individually?
Yes, once again, it's 1, 2, 3, re. Okay. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, 1,
all right,
2,
yes.
3, knucklehead, and the dice goes skittering across the table again. Hers comes up as a 2, so her total is 13.
3 for Grumpfel for a total of 13.
Oh, you look over and the sprites, they rolled like a double 6, and the other dice was a 2, and you hear them going, for fuck's sake. All right, It's a draw. So this is double or nothing. Put in more money. And she chucks like another buckle on there.
Okay. Grumpfel will look at Delgrim and shrug and pull out another gold coin and put it down next to the first one.
All right, ready. 1, 2, 3. Knucklehead. And the dice go skittering across the table again. So what did you roll?
A 4 and 2 2s for 8.
So you can re-roll both of the 2s if it's a double. But remember, any more doubles, and you discard those. So she rolled a 6, a 3, and a 2. So she is going to re-roll the 2. All right, ready?
Okay.
1,
Re-rolling
2.
the 2 2s.
Re-rolling the 2. Oh, he's a risky man. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Knucklehead. Roll. What did you get?
A 6, a 5, and a 4 for a total of 15.
Oh, she rolled a 4 for a 13 and she goes, oh, we have ourselves a winner. And she pushes this pile of objects.
Oh, well done. Wait. Oh,
You won, sir.
Oh,
You
fantastic.
won. Congratulations.
Right. Still getting used to this game, yes?
Yes, sure. What's your name?
My name is Grumpfel.
And what about the other one that's standing behind you, pointing and saying how much money you should be spending like some kind of clown?
Clown's a little heavy-handed. One of my traveling companions. This is Delgrim.
Delgrim. Hey, Delgrim, how are you going?
I'm very well, but we, to be perfectly honest, must be getting back to our friends shortly.
Okay, well, leave the dice. Bye. Catch you later.
Before we leave, perhaps we've been told that it is not uncommon for you to take journeys sometimes to Northern Peldon. Is this something that is true?
I mean, I've sailed up that way once or twice before. I mean, I haven't gone all the way through the Fractured Isles because to try and sail through the Fractured Isles, you'd have to be a fucking idiot. And you might go around, but then you got the blockades. But look, I mean, I've been to Castlesham a few times. I mean, actually, to be fair, I'll give anything a crack half the time, if you know what I mean. And she gives you a little wink.
He winks right back. I truly love this attitude. This is exactly what I want to hear. I wonder if we could convince you to perhaps take another little trip.
Oh, interesting. Look, it's not exactly the easiest of trips. It's quite dangerous, and there would be a cost.
But it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't so, right?
Ooh, I like you. Interesting. Still, there's a cost. Costs money to run a ship, costs money to feed crew, it costs money to do all sorts of things.
That is perfectly acceptable. I would say there are 6 of us who could serve as crew on the journey. But what is cost of which you speak exactly?
What's the cost? I mean, if you go and talk to some clown like Albin, he'll probably charge you something like 500 or 600 gold pieces. That seems pretty excessive. Plus, I mean, really, money's just kind of a bit boring, isn't it? Look, do your deal. No money, no charge. However, if you can bring me the moon from the Melody of Stars, I'll take you anywhere you want to go.
The moon from the Melody of Stars. So that's one of the courts, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And what would the cost be without the moon? Just for curiosity's sake.
The cost without the moon? Oh no, I'm not going to do it. No, I've got my heart set on this now. I want the moon. I've got all sorts of other things, but I don't have a moon. I want the moon. Give me the moon. Get me the moon.
I'll speak with my friends. We'll see what we can do about getting this moon.
Delgrim, are you going to try and let your friends convince you otherwise?
Why would I
Come
do
on
that?
now. You said you like a little bit of adventure. You seem like the kind who likes to live dangerously. Bring me the moon.
If I may,
Sure.
in my experience, Delgrim and I will return for him to convince our friends that we shall get to the moon, not
Right.
to have them to convince him not to.
Interesting.
Trust
Interesting.
me.
It sounds like very interesting hunt. I would like to give try.
Excellent. I like this. She stands up and she walks over to you and offers you a hand. So the deal, you bring me the moon from the melody of stars, and I will sail you to wherever you want to go in northern Paldorn.
Deal.
Deal. Do you take a hand?
Absolutely.
She grabs your hand, pulls you in, gives you the biggest kiss, pushes you away and says, right, now fuck off. I want to keep playing my dice game and get shit-faced.
Just out of curiosity, I've obviously won back my 2 gold coins. The stick and the 2 buckles.
Got two sticks and 2 buckles.
Mm.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the double or nothing for myself and the captain.
There seems to be zero logic in what was going on.
Okay.
There was all sorts
Does
of
there
stuff.
seem to be anything special about them, or is it just like whatever people call valuable?
It just looks like a couple of sticks and a couple of buckles. I mean,
Okay.
like on examination of them, they seem remarkably plain.
Grumpfel will, you know what? Grumpfel will pick them up. Obviously, the 2 gold that he put down in there. You said 2 sticks and 2 buckles.
Mm-hmm.
He'll take one of the sticks and give it back to the sprites and go, for friends well met, and he'll do the same to the captain with one of the buckles. For friends well met.
Look at you! Such a generous fool! I'm loving this already. Gosh, I really do hope you manage to get the moon for me, because I think a sailing trip with you two could be a jolly good time. Now again, fuck off. I want to keep playing my game, and you've obviously got to go and talk to your friends and stuff. Have fun, play nice, don't die.
Well, I shall be a fool in full favor that will readily fuck off. And we'll see you again.
Perfect. So, as you guys head away from Gilly, we swing back around to the rest of the group. Pricks and Prax, you see return. And flitter up to Aloysius. You can see a little in the ear. And Aloysius goes, interesting. Look, friends, it sounds like your mother, Kian, correct? No sign, no sight. No one appears to know her anywhere within the hymn, at least. But if you go and talk to Nimbus, Nimbus is the man who knows everything throughout the court. If he has seen or heard of your mother or the shard folk or anything, I'm sure he can set you up. Well, I hope so anyway. But not guarantee something that's actually out of my control. That would probably be a poor move.
And he's within this court?
Yes, Prix will take you. I mean, Prax. Was it Prix? And they go, no, it's Prax. I'm sorry, Prax. Prax will take you.
Okay, lead the way, Prax.
So, who is going to go with Tiernan to locate, go and have a talk to this Nimbus? Beers?
Is this
Rowan?
after Delgrim and
This is
Grumpfel have come back?
This is whilst you guys are off doing your
Gotcha.
thing.
Yeah.
So, Rowan,
Yeah, no,
Miera,
I've committed to staying with Tiernan, so I will do so.
okay. What about
Rowan is
Miera?
sticking around, keeping an eye on Miera so that she doesn't get delirious about the delirium.
Okay. Oh, well played. Nice. All right. So you two are staying with the delirium. Tiernan and B are off to see Nimbus.
Let's see.
All right. Prax leads you through the crowd until up ahead, he sort of flits down and lands on your shoulder, Tiernan, and points ahead and goes, it's the green-haired halfling just over there.
Does Blinky knock him off?
Sorry?
Does Blinky knock him off my other shoulder?
No.
Okay.
the halfling over there. Green hair, kind of buff. And you can see, indeed, standing sort of talking with a group of other individuals is a very buff looking halfling with thick curly green hair. Topless, like many of the males here, wearing very loose, voluptuous, multicolored pants with a bright red sash.
Can you introduce us, Prax?
Sure. And he flips over, followed by you guys, and he sort of flies around in front of this halfling and goes, "Excuse me, Miss Nimbus, Mr. Thrisp, I've got some people here who want to have a talk with you about something." And the halfling turns around to you two, and the brightest, the bluest eyes, and he just looks at the two of you, very much sort of assessing you in a multitude of ways. Goes, how can I help?
Looking for an individual who we believe is in one of the other courts.
Mm-hmm.
An old family relation.
Old family relation.
So another shard folk?
Shard folk. Shard folk.
And we were told that you were the best person to speak to.
I probably am. I know most people through the courts, or at least know how to find out about most people through the courts. Certainly.
They go
Do you
by the
have
name of Kian.
Kian? Interesting. And what do they look like?
Blue skin, elven, long black hair.
Right.
Longer than mine.
Interesting. Interesting. Not a lot of information to go on based on the people that reside here within the courts. And of course, the fee.
Obviously, there's always a cost.
Absolutely, there is always a cost.
I mean, the good news is that, you know, we've been told that you're the person to come to. So of all the people here, you'd be most capable.
Oh, I certainly am, my dear. What are you willing to pay?
This is something which is sort of outside my expertise, so I really don't even know what the going rate is. How much would you normally charge?
And what do you trade in?
Oh, I trade in experiences.
Do you care to elaborate, or are you just going to leave it there?
Well, I mean, I'm interested to see what you're going to come to the table with before I potentially offer anything or suggest anything.
Look over at Tiernan to just kind of gauge his comfort level at this point.
Tiernan is deeply confused at this point in time. Can you elaborate a little bit? I'm not really too sure what I can offer.
Very typical of your type. Look.
Oh, look, to be fair, it's not his type. It's just that we're not from this part.
Oh, no, that's what I mean, my dear. That's what I mean. Like your type, those of you who aren't used to this whole experience. Look, how about I make this very, very simple? I will give you the information. If I get a dance.
Seems like a fair trade.
What kind of dance? On the dance floor? Or of the more horizontal?
No, I have no desire around that at this point in time. But
Oh, phew.
That's the limbo. How far will it go? How low will it go?
a dance, of course, it would have to be a good enough dance. I mean, I have standards. If you impress me enough, I'll give you the information. And with that, he just holds one hand out. Between the two of you, to see which of you will take up his offer.
Are you a good dancer, B?
Can I ask, what would Tiernan's face look like in this moment?
Abject horror, but resigned to do what must be done.
If there is any form of discomfort, horror, or fear coming from Tiernan, B won't hesitate. She'll just take this person's hand.
He takes yours.
Tiernan takes the other hand.
So he's only offering
Okay,
one.
okay.
He's only offering one hand.
That's fucking power play, John.
But if you want to take, do you want to take the other hand?
Yes, I will take the other
Okay.
hand. See what he can do.
He's like, oh, this is very intriguing. Very well. And he leads the two of you. There's not like all through this place there have been people that have been dancing, but it's like he guides you to a section of the space where there seems to be more people moving to the sound of this music. And now you feel the music begin to get a little bit louder as it begins to take you. And the first thing I want you to both do, since you're both doing this, is make performance rolls for me, please. As he begins to try and guide both of you through the beginnings of a dance. So, roll your d20s, you two.
That's an 18 on the dice for a dirty 20.
Oh.
I'm going to use my inspiration.
Happy birthday to you.
For a 19.
Oh. Nimbus is very much in touch with the music that is being played. And whilst the both of you are probably in a very unusual situation, especially for you, Tiernan, he guides you and both of you seem to be able to sort of keep up with what is happening. It would be a very unusual situation because this individual is a halfling and both of you are taller members. But as he moves between you, there is a lot more physical contact than what you would expect. And at times you even find yourselves sort of facing each other as you begin to sort of move with this music. And you can hear him go, quite surprised. Where are you from? What are your names?
Cathar Bar. Tiernan.
I don't say where I'm from, but I do say B.
Interesting. I need you to make a second performance check as the music seems to swell slightly.
Can I use Flash of Genius by trying to copy his moves?
Sure.
That is a 17.
Okay.
17. Yeah, 17.
Okay, interesting.
Stop copying me.
He spins you, B, into like, and it's almost like for a minute you look like your heart is in your throat as he like dips you. And being a halfling, it is incredibly low, but you can feel just how strong like his arm is around you. And his eyes just lock with yours. It's like, why are you here, bee from nowhere?
I'm here to help my friend.
And with that, he like whips you up and sort of twirls you away. And then Tiernan, he doesn't dip you, but somehow you find your eyes locked with his as well. And he's like, Tiernan, why are you here?
Missing relations.
Interesting. He takes both of your hands, and I need you to make one more performance roll for me, please, each.
14.
What was that?
14. Unless you let
14.
me use Flash of Genius, but
It's an 18.
Okay. The three of you in unison move through the bodies that are on this dance floor. There is a lot of contact. It is a strange sensation as you feel yourself carried by the music. And then you find yourselves at the side, away from the rest, with Nimbus just suddenly sort of standing there looking at the two of you and going, unexpected. Very unexpected.
Interesting, because that's exactly what I expected.
He looks at you, Tiernan, and simply goes, Bluebell in the melody of stars. And you blink and he's gone. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Excellent.
Nice.
And it turns out Tiernan's been a sleeper agent all along, and that was the code word. And he turns around and kills everyone. All of us
Oh
dead.
no,
Bee.
I'm the closest.
Gone.
Incredible.
And we've lost Heath, and so all of the cameras have gone all wonky.
Oh,
Oh,
wow, we
no.
did lose Heath.
Okay, Heath's gonna be unhappy.
Yeah.
Because you had a bad day.
Yeah. Well, look, as we wait for Heath to reappear, as per usual, we'll do a quick whip around of favorite moments, things that we've enjoyed. Who would like to kick us off?
Emily would.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you know
I
what?
think
Absolutely. No, let's go. Do you
Okay.
know why? Because, like, I torture this man all the time in my campaign, so this is only fair.
Amazing.
Favorite moment. Okay, there was a ton tonight. But I think the dice game and like the betting between Buckles and Gold and the whole dynamic of that table was a lot of fun to watch. I enjoyed that.
Cool.
Can I-
Sorry, go Kate.
My favorite was still, I can use disguise self on everyone. Nope, I can only use it on me.
It's
I
right
love
there
you,
in the
Emily.
name.
I love you.
Much like the offer of going to stay at her house in Valiant's
Yeah.
Rest.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my God, Kate, you managed to make Emily just instantaneously disappear.
Love you.
Incredible.
I was a big fan of cool, let's experiment on whether or not anyone can go into this ring, and then that experiment just failing
Yeah.
completely.
I'm not level 10 yet, baby.
Let's
Not
see.
till you're level 10.
Good. Hey, look, interesting thoughts. Set stuff up. That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah.
I'll go next. I sort of had two favorites. Was What's your favorite animal?
That's pretty cool.
And
was
everybody,
good.
everybody's sort of like holding themselves back when we finally find Aloysius, even though at least 3 of us just want to punch the guy.
God, I want to slap him so hard.
And it's so sad
break the
that the
cord.
only person who has the fireball is the only person who wouldn't cast it at him.
Yep.
Other spells that can do equal amounts of damage.
No, it's just sort of like poetic justice.
Taste your own medicine.
Yes, but
Mm.
sickening radiance exists, John.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think you dropped
yeah.
something.
Yeah. Cool. What about you, Cass?
I appreciated B gaslighting Delgrim
Oh,
at the
yeah.
Forgot
start.
about that. Forgot about
I
that.
thought that was good. Nothing like tricking someone to thinking they're invisible. And I also I liked the little conversation in Underbro in the corner about like we shouldn't do anything here.
Underbro.
Yeah.
Bro.
I was
Yeah.
kind of hoping one person was within hearing range that could understand Undercommon.
We don't know that there wasn't.
We don't know that
We
there
don't.
wasn't. Yeah,
Two
correct.
bros standing in a corner.
6 feet apart.
I'm just a bro standing in front of another bro.
Ask him not to punch on.
Yeah.
Asking him not to level 4 kiss someone.
That is so many memes that we've just come up with.
Yeah.
And please make them.
Oh, dear.
What about you, Heath?
I don't know. With the little power flicker we had in my computer, deciding, oh no, I've got no power. Time to go off and then
That was
back
your
on
favorite
again.
part?
No,
That's
that's
gotta be
that
the
kind
least
of
favorite.
reset the brain as well. I got to say yes. Gaslighting Delgrim was pretty good. I don't know. I did have a couple earlier, but like my computer resetting, my brain is reset, and I've kind of blanked on a lot of it. Come back around to me, and I'll have a quick think, unless I'm the last one on the list.
I was intrigued to see how the party reacted to Aloysius. I wasn't sure whether or not it was going to be like if there was going to be any aggression, some aggression, lots of aggression, how that was going to play out. I always enjoy slash hate Cass and the sending spell. Because it just involves way too much brain power for me at times to try and go, oh my God, you're doing this to this person. I need to think about what's been happening over there. Tiernan's power move with getting involved with the dance, very interesting. It
That
was
was cool.
an intriguing thing.
I didn't think it was going to work, but okay.
Look, I mean, you doubled the risk of the entire thing going sideways. So, that played out well. The dice game is actually a dice game I made up for my home campaign from a couple of years ago. Which is just absolute bullshittery. But I'm quite proud of it.
It's
coming out
simple. It's cute. I dig it. It's
Yeah,
real good.
that's just it. It was just like it's a nice. We played it for like some ridiculous period of time in the home game because it was just
Could play in real life and would still be fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
Grumpfel's definitely going to take that, and I think Grumpfel and Delgrim will play that just for fun throughout the rest of the campaign, just for laughs and that. Because
Trading
I
sticks
think
and berries.
well, I think on Grumpfel's inventory list, and I have to have another look, but I'm pretty sure he's got dice on his inventory list.
I appreciate everyone at this table. It was cool. I'm conscious.
Be awkward if you didn't.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, fucking hell, fucking Emily.
Oh.
I know that some people's energy was waning, and I always appreciate that people stick it out, or they call that stuff out, which is really cool. That's it. That's my brain done. Heath, did you come up with anything else?
Yes, I've just remembered what I was going to say. This may have been said while I was trying to get my computer back up and going. The concerted effort of B and Delgrim with the locate object. I thought that was a very
Yep.
cool.
That was real cool.
Angle.
It was
And then
cool.
the pseudo voyeuristic Tiernan flashing his shard in a back alley while the rest of us were playing lookout was
Well,
an
show us your
interesting
shard,
take.
you know.
That's it. I'll show you my shard if you show me yours.
It was on par with the swordplay lesson from way back.
Yeah.
It's like it was just
Wow.
a constant string of absolute gold, and I loved every moment of it. Thank you.
God, Tiernan, your shard, it's so small. Oh my God.
Wow.
It's
Poor Tiernan.
tiny.
It's not the size of the shard; it's the power within. Thank you.
Wow.
Real hard though.
Yeah, maybe it's like just super cold or something. I don't know. But anyway. Hey, look, I think does anyone else have anything they want to throw out there into the mix? Same thing from chat. Chat, is there anything that you guys want to throw out into the mix?
I promise I remember that Promethean's character name is not Promethean.
That was funny.
That's
Brain
great.
just could not today.
The
Just
first time ever too. It's like wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, O'Sullivan Kate, calm down.
Whoa. Wow, wowie, wow.
Hey, we'll forgive you. No judgment.
Yeah.
no, head empty, brain gone.
Yeah. That's I've also at that point in time. So with that, we're gonna stick a pin in it. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We're gonna find out what's the moon. Like, it sounds like the Melody of Stars is a place where you guys might be going next. You got to get the moon there, and what's the Bluebell?
That's the Goth Club.
We're gonna go raiding, I think, to Unhinged Tales right about now. So heading over to do some more D&D fun times, folks. So stick it out, raid out with us, do it.
Hell yeah! Hey, thank you very much to everyone who's hung out with us tonight. We appreciate you spending your time with us.
Happy birthday, John!
Yeah.
Happy birthday, John.
Yeah, happy birthday, John.
I've survived another year.
We'll see you all in a fortnight. Same Radiant Shadows time, same Radiant Shadows channel.
Yep.
What?
Yes,
Quiet.
Yeah,
Very much
for the love of
tired.
God, we're gonna go raiding. Thank you very much, everyone. Good night. Good
Hey,
night.
yank that shard lever.